Captain just put on his.
Yes, stuff. Captain, what do I need here? CSA. To see if my game is showing live now. See y'all in a sec.
Oh yeah, get that scoring there. Oh.
Those days, this is every Sunday there was those games.
Yeah.
When you remember those nights.
Well, I remember, I think I got fired on a few games because that you weren't available.
Yeah. Also, fish video for the What's it? The farmer bottom.
Was it?
Fish video.
Nah, man. Can't say shit then. Well, it wasn't seen. Yeah, man, if they change it, then you have to pick. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, here's the thing, man. I don't have anything. I can't put access to that.
But they probably really care. But it's not a full-time
If I go prices, man, if I need that, I'm not available.
What is it?
Yeah, I'll send my class. Tuskers, I think, won and they batting. I think the Tuskers won and they batting.
How'd you find out?
I saw Wayne signaling to those guys. Also, you look at the teams after the toss, how they move. So you can see all the Eastern Cape guys are now bowling. So that means they're trying to get warm and get ready.
Tuskers, bowling.
Bowling?
Batting. Damn, what the heck.
Yeah, sure.
Tuskers batting. Jeez. So yeah, Eastern Cape Iinyathi lost the toss and chose to bowl.
And I just...
Get the 6 up. And ready.
So I'm just following the ball.
Talk to you in a sec. You started your game, right? Like, have you gone to save the player? Save? Save the game?
Save.
Yeah, all the way down, save. Start scoring, so I think the link. You connected to Wi-Fi now?
Yeah.
Yeah, start scoring. Cool, yeah, then you can just go to that.
Can I just... I hate it fairly noisy. So it's basically the same... Except John was watching.
It's probably not in playing order, right?
Yeah.
Which three are not playing? I'm assuming from 12
Dylan
to 14.
Finn, Mosley, and...
Okay, I'll try and put it in the batting order so we wrap it around. Let's check the team.
Gentlemen, I look forward to working with you.
That's it.
I didn't catch your name last time. Zach on D1. Nice to see you, Zach. How's that? Are you happy on that side, Andy?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll come up closer just now.
Do you guys want to do a sound test, or you happy? This thing will catch us. I mean,
Pietermaritzburg.
That's an excellent delivery by.
Yeah, balls to Vandier. Goes on the shorter side. Vandier tries to lift that. And John takes it beautifully at that far leg.
There you go.
Oh, Aldred rocking. Oh, and what a...
Oi!
And this time, he's taken.
Oh, and this time he...
How he goes about it. Daniel Beche and Kim runs down.
And Masono
Pulls that!
To have musical backing when you start commentary. And here we are at the Pietermaritzburg Oval, which is now the ACDC Express Oval. Thank you very much to ACDC, and if you're in the town of Pietermaritzburg and you need electrical work done, go there. It's just off the highway and I can personally vouch for it. So the biggest news that you need to know is that the toss was won by the Tuskers. The home side have opted to bat, and they have taken the field and ready to go, and it'll be Cameron Shackleton to open the batting, facing the first ball. Who have we got for the bowler? Let me just check with my scorers. I like that pregnant pause. We're having a look through the binoculars just to see who it is, and I'll go through the two sides for you during the course of this first over. Let me first up introduce my co-commentator, Devan van Veek. Delightful to be alongside somebody young with good eyes.
Thank you, Andy. Yes, I'm still young, I'd like to think. Next year I'm hitting the 40s, but that is a time and a place that we'll explore next year. But thank you, Andy. It's wonderful to be with you. The second match, the ACDC Tuskers are playing in the T20 knockout, the CSA T20, and what a day we are in for. Just based on the warm-ups today, Andy, it looks like the Iinyathis and the Tuskers are ready for a battle. Like you said, the Tuskers are batting first, and it's Cameron Shackleton, the wicketkeeper, batting with Kagiso Rapulana.
And I can tell you that Nico van Zyl will bowl the first ball, and he's quite rapid on his day, and he's going to be bowling from the Hewlett's end, and a very good young cricketer, 24 years old, and took 5 wickets in 7 games of the provincial T20 earlier this year, including 2 for 23 against Limpopo in the group stage. Here we go, first ball of this T20 game, and straight away a little bit of outswing, pushed powerfully into the covers, and there is a man there. I suppose you'd call him a catcher, standing on the edge of the square. And a reminder that the Eastern Cape Iinyathi are our visitors at the Pietermaritzburg Oval today. They lost their opening game against Limpopo, the defending champions, and they will want to bounce back from that. Van Zyl, a little bit of pace and coming nicely onto the bat early on.
It looks like a very good batting wicket, Andy. Both teams wanted to bat first, talking to Jason Niemann as well before the toss. They were also looking to bat first, and you can't blame them. The wicket has been well prepared by the ground staff here at the ACDC Pietermaritzburg City Oval. And I must say, Shackleton is looking good. A little bit of a waist shape. Nice to see with his cloud cover. But nice to see he's getting his hands through the balls. And this time he slides it down the leg side, disappointed with himself. And Shackleton beautifully works it around his legs for 4 runs. And you're right, Andy, there's a bit of pace.
So first runs Fine leg was inside the circle, and it went to his right, and he had no chance. Just felt that Nico Finsale was just overcompensating there. He bowled a couple wide outside the off stump, afraid of getting driven, and typical outswinger. Suddenly you try and bowl the perfect ball that starts on leg stump and hits the top of off, and instead it drifts down the leg side. Easy meat for Shackleton, so he's away. And then the wide one, and Shackleton will be a bit distraught that he missed out there, because that really was easy pickings. There's a third man, but nobody else out on the offside. Anything past the infield is 4.
Definitely, Andy, particularly here at the Oval. This is a beautiful field, as you can see on your screen. Nice and green after the rain and the snow the Midlands enjoyed this past week. But once it beats the inner ring, it's most definitely 4 runs.
In the air, and one bounce out to deep backward square. So the batsmen cross, and Rapulana, Kagiso Rapulana, 33-year-old, known as Jonty to his mates.
Jonty is a good cricketer, Andy. He's played most of his cricket in the Highveld, and he moved down to Pietermaritzburg when is it Grant Morgan or is the follow-on coach Shane Berger coached the Tuskers. He's a gritty cricketer, likes it short, and immediately gives off the mark. Not sure if it's off the mark, might have been off the thigh pad. Indeed, off the thigh pad. And Jonty, one of the quickest runner between the wickets in CSA cricket. And that's the end of the first over.
5 for none. So just that boundary and leg by in the first over. A little bit of pace from Nico Finsale. I've heard he's quite slippery, and like to see the fact that he's swinging the ball. And as you mentioned, the conditions are ideal for swing bowling. It's warm enough, it's a little bit clammy, and if you can swing the ball, you should be able to do it in these circumstances. Second over will be bowled by Apiwe Mnyanda, left arm seamer. Has played for South Africa at under 19 level just last year. So I'll be interested to see how Apiwe Mnyanda goes. And he'll be bowling to Cameron Shackleton. Shackleton played for SA Schools, went to St Stithians, which of course produced Rabada and Rickleton, just to name the people whose surnames start with R. And Mnyanda will come in from the Doozy end, which is where we're commentating from. In the air, and he's just got away with it. There's nobody out, and that will be 4, which is distressing for the bowler, because that's not a bad ball at all. He's swung the ball into the right-hander. That's all you ask, really, of a left-arm seamer. And it's a little bit of a hit and hope that's got away for 4.
Lovely intent though, Andy, and Jonty definitely backing the rest of his lineup. First ball of Mnyanda over, and he actually looked to hit it straight back to us, but off the outside edge. And you can immediately see de Klerk, I think, is there at point, encouraging a change. Yes, indeed, the fine leg comes up, and a deep backward point goes back to the boundary. Obviously now forcing Apiwe Mnyanda to bowl outside off anything down leg with that inside swing. Could be easily worked for 4 to the fine leg area.
Oh, there's another leading edge. It's very similar to the first ball. I don't like that move at all. That's ball chasing to me. Putting the man out because he hit it in the air there just now, but that's not where he was aiming. And for the left arm, especially a young left arm seamer, you want a bit of insurance on the onside. I would far rather have a fine leg on the boundary. You push him a little bit wider if you want to towards the famous tree, and then have point up in the circle, because he's swinging it. Big shout, but that's missing leg, and Shackleton comes through quickly for the leg bye from the non-striker's end. And so, if I was the bowler, I'd be having a word with my captain now. I know I'm only 20, but when I'm bowling, I'm captain, and I don't want him there.
Yes. Well, Apiwe had a tough day against Limpopo, an economy of a 14.6 in their previous encounter. Good start for him, the one boundary of the outside edge of the first ball, and 2 dot balls to follow. He's been around a bit. Nyanda has been. He's a good bowler. As you can see, he gets a bit of swing early on, particularly in this overcast conditions here in Pietermaritzburg.
That's a good hit, and it's gone for 4. Shackleton saw the ball in his zone.
Well, what a great start by the Tuskers. Not allowing the grass to grow underneath their feet. Immediately making their intentions clear, and Shackleton with a beautiful attacking shot over the mid-on area. Working with the swing back to him, and he looks like a man in form.
Another change in the field that's brought, with square leg going out to deep backward square. They brought the extra man inside the circle on the offside. Just trying to see where our missing fielder is. Oh, there we go. So we've actually got a long leg and a deep backward square. Nobody out on the offside. That's asking a lot of a young bowler.
9 runs of the over so far.
Always remember, the first 4 was off the edge. Could easily have been out. Second 4, fair enough. Good hit. Oh, he's got away with that. Anywhere through the infield is 4. End of the over. Would probably say he's got away with that. 2 boundaries in the over, 9 off it. And it is now 15 without loss for the Tuskers, winning the toss and choosing to bat here at the ACDC Express Oval in Pietermaritzburg.
Andy, there's not many fields in the world in first class cricket with a tree in the playing area, but I believe there's another.
Well, there's 3 actually.
I knew you had an answer. Where are those?
Well, I've commentated at one of them, which is Canterbury.
All right.
Have you played there?
No.
Canterbury, lovely ground. Absolutely spectacular ground on a bright summer's day in England. Here's Nico van Sale. Oh, he's beaten him on the inside there. Jonty moving to the leg side, looking to make some room. And that's an air shot. Yeah, so Canterbury would be the most famous. And the third one, I could give you 100 guesses, but without Mr. Google, you would never get.
I don't think so.
It's Amstelveen in the Netherlands.
I would not have guessed it. And have you commentated there?
I haven't done Amstelveen. I've been there. Been there when I was an art student. Ooh, non-strikers come a long way down. Shackleton has to scamper back there. Yeah, Amstelveen, very much the home ground of the Dutch national cricket side. And I'm a bit disappointed, actually, to see that the boundary rope goes around the tree here.
Normally
it's in
behind
it's in play,
yeah.
eh? You hit it into the topmost branches, and it's only 4.
And it's only 4, but obviously now with the change in the boundary, if it goes over the boundary, it's 6. And Rapalana goes over mid-on, and the ball hits the downslope towards the boundary, and it's 4 runs. Didn't time it as well, but well enough. And the Tuskers on the charge.
Yeah, didn't get all of that, but the important thing was he picked his spot. Just had to get it over mid-on's nut, and it was always going to be runs.
Andy, I think the key will be at what time will the Cape Iinyathis bring in their spin attack? it's a wicket that really looks good, but definitely I believe spin will be key to control the rate, as always here at the City Oval.
Half a shout from the offside fielders. Nico van Zyl hits the stumps, but Jonty Rapilana is back in his ground. Yeah, where are we? This is over number 3, so he's still got another 3.5 overs of power play. And traditionally, captains are reluctant to bring a spinner on during power play, but it has been done, and there are a few spin options for the Iinyathi, who are now making a change, bringing third man up into the circle, fine leg going back. That little yo-yo of those two boundary fielders goes on all the time. Sometimes you don't even see it. A little bit of bounce there. I quite like the look of Nico van Zyl. He's got a bit of pace, and obviously he swings the ball, and I think he's got that fast bowler mongrel.
Definitely looks at the way that he took the bails off a ball ago when there was no attempt at a run out. He's yet to take a wicket in this year's competition.
And there goes the yo-yo again. Fine leg had come up, third man had gone back, and the bowler gets to the top of his mark and says, "No, I want them the other way around, skipper."
This is his 11th T20 match.
Edged and gone, and that's the breakthrough. Rapilana nicks it through to the keeper, and it is 23 for 1.
Shackleton, in fact, Andy, and a big wicket for the Cape Iinyathis. He was the aggressor, and he really looked the part in this at the start of this innings, and he just gave himself a bit too much room. Van Zyl with a good delivery on a quality length first stump, and a big swing. His weight not transferring into the ball as he wanted to, and a thick outside edge, well held by the wicket keeper Malika.
Yeah, Malika keeping wicket. They had a few options, but he's got the job today, and Shackleton gone. I'm waiting to see if the scoreboard is going to put his score up. Right now it's showing a South African flag, which is a little bit unhelpful. He got 9, and that is, am I right in saying 23 for 1? $22 for 1. I've no idea what you're saying.
20 for 1.
20 for 1. Right, thank you. 20 for 1 in the third over. And who's the new man, please? Got a change of bowling.
Carl Nipper into bat.
Carl Nipper is the new batsman. He'll be at the non-striker's end, and we've got a change in the bowling for the Iinyathi.
Carl Nipper, a key man for the ACDC Tuskers. He has been around, and some would say really the face of inland cricket. He started straight out of school, and he's still going. And every year you think it's his last, but he's still playing. And the new bowler starting with a big wide down the leg side. Carl Nipper has done very well in franchise cricket. Played a few games for the Dolphins, but has really been a stalwart of cricket here in the Midlands region. Very excited to see him doing well today.
Ooh, tried to cut a ball that was way too close, but he scampers through for the run. So Chad Clarkson is the new bowler, coming in from the doozy end. And now Kyle Nipper will face his first ball. Chad Klaassen hails from Johannesburg, 27 years old. And Kyle Nipper is a decade his senior. Now the director of cricket at Maritzburg College, where he was schooled, and he's gone first ball. Dragged it on, and there is the second breakthrough. Klaassen gets Nipper for a duck. First ball, it's 21 for 2.
Carl trying to hit the ball a little bit too square, a little bit of nip off the inside of the seam of this Kookaburra match ball, and inside edge onto his pad, and what an ugly way to go out. Such an unfortunate way for Kyle Nipper to be dismissed, and that brings the Cape Iinyathis closer to another dismissal. 21 for 2 now. Next batsman in, Sean Gilson. Batted beautifully in the previous match, 71 runs, leading the Tuskers to victory against Limpopo. And 2 wickets down in this power play. The Cape Iinyathis will be very happy, Andy.
Well, they will indeed, having lost the toss. We were speaking to their captain before the game. He would have batted first. In the field, they found a little bit of swing, and although they've given away a few boundaries, they have beaten the bat. They've had a man caught behind now and a man played on. So Sean Gilson coming in, he's a Michael House boy. Michael House, I have to tell you, have been in the middle of Balgowan without power for the last 8 days after the snow of last Friday. And Gilson will be facing his first ball from Chad Klaassen. He's a Joburg boy originally. And there's a huge gap in the onside there, and that's an easy run to get off the mark for Gilson.
Klaassen with an extra step in his stride after that dismissal, and he really looks the fast bowler part. Hits the deck nice and hard, a lot of energy behind the ball. And speaking to Rowan Richards, the bowling coach, assistant coach of this Cape Iinyathis, he's very excited about this bowling lineup. Very well drilled as well, good culture in this team.
That's nicely played. Oh, no ball. I'm sure I saw the arm go out there. Can we confirm? Was that a no ball? No. No free hit.
On the score, you've got a P-way in the other score. This is just not updated. But there you've got it right.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. They're only going to get one for it, but that's as good a shot as anybody's played.
And that, Andy, is pretty much Rapulana for you. He's got a solid technique, and he's able to rotate the strike. The previous game also walked away with 100 strike rate. Ideally, as an opener, you want to move that. Even if the opening batsman had rotate the strike more often, you want to get to the 120s. But that's what you'll get from him. We saw on the first ball, he obviously scored that boundary over the point region. But you'll get that rotational strike from him. And I'm very excited to look at Sean Gilson here today. He played at the Dolphins last year, 4-day game. I think it was his debut, made a 50 actually against the Tuskers. And he took a wicket in both innings, and he obviously made the move now to Pietermaritzburg, hoping to play more cricket. And he started off the season with a bang. Speaking to Ahmed Amla, just wanted him to start off well in game 1 or 2, and he got a 71 not out in the first game.
Now, do we have a bowling change? Yeah, so we've got the left arm seamer and Iinyathi coming back from the Hewlett's end, having started here at the Doozy end. With those 2 wickets to fall, let's see whether he can find a rhythm. He was unlucky in his first over. Ball carved by Rapulanda over Point's head. Could easily have landed in the hands. And a bright start from the Tuskers, rather knocked on the head by those 2 quick wickets.
24 for 2 at the moment.
That's a wide, and it's not a wide. Wow.
Maybe just inside the indicator mark.
That little red line there.
I believe it's umpire's discretion.
Of course, I'm all for umpire's discretion, you know, just as I am for referees' discretion in rugby.
I was all for the spirit of the game when I was a batsman. That the call leant towards the batsman always. When in doubt, not out. And a similar line.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think that one. The first one did look wide, but that one was on or inside the guideline there. And Jonty just hanging back a little bit on the back foot.
Looks as though he wants to give himself room, but now the bowler's clever and he's bowling an outside off line. And you wouldn't think that's a line you want to attack with no third man. Rapulanda just has to get an outside edge on it or run it down to third man, and he'll most probably get a 4 on this lightning quick outfield.
Yeah, so it's a game of chess going on here. And Iinyathi's come back and bowled 2 dot balls. Oh, and that one hurried on to him.
You can sense that momentum shift happening here. Cape Iinyathis, the wind in their sails, the run rate keeps dropping. It's down to 5.3 now at the moment.
Of course, Devan, it's a big year for the Tuskers. They've signed 5 new players. They're looking to try and get promoted back into Division 1. And if you're going to have a good year, you need to start well.
That's so important, Andy. How you start really sets you up for the season. You still have to finish well, but to start well just puts that pressure on the other teams. And Rapulanda goes up and over the inner ring. Good captaincy though by Niman. He's got a man behind square on the boundary on the offside and only 1. Yeah, Andy, back to your point. The Tuskers definitely with a point to prove, being demoted from Division 1. There's been some changes though. In the 2-year cycle, there are 3 changes in the coaching department, which is never a good sign. Not for any bad reasons. Just people move on, and now Ahmed Amla in that coaching role with his assistant Yusuf Abdullah. Signed the 5 players, as you said, and hopefully for the Tuskers, they get back and they stay up. And that's what the Rhino wants. Ahmed Amla, he says he signed the 5 players not just to win Division 2, but to stay up in Division 1 for years to come.
Just about to say that this was a little test for the young left-arm seamer. His line has been wide outside off stump to the right-hander. Now he's facing the left-hander, and it's so easy to just push one wide, and that's exactly what's happened there, and that is a wide down the leg side. A good solid start for Iinyathi in the field. They look a well-drilled side.
They really do look the part, Andy. You know, we looked at them during the warm-up, and there's not any faults you can find. It's a good culture, a lot of energy amongst the boys. You can see they're well trained, and Shannon Graham, the S&C, has done a good job in the preseason to get the guys conditioned. It's not a lot of guys that you would think maybe he shouldn't play the whole game. They all look fit and strong. Tumelo Budibe, the coach of this Cape Iinyathi team, with Rowan Richards, have done a good job. There you see the athleticism in the extra cover region. A good stroke by the batsman, but well fielded. One-handed diving stop to the right.
So that's the end of over number 5. It's 27 for 2. And the game very much in the balance, but I would say on the on what we've seen, that the Iinyathi are a nose in front at the moment. They've got the 2 early wickets. And there might even be a little bit of rain in the air.
I found something. We are sitting outside here in the beautiful Midlands, and I did feel a drop of something on my head. And the cloud cover is clearing. Actually, apologies. Building up. If I'm not mistaken, Annie, the rain normally comes from our right over those hills.
Klaassen into his second over. He'll have to start again. Gilson wasn't happy. Looking around the field, he's got 4 men in the covers, saving 1 for the left-hander. He's got a 3rd man. And then fine leg is inside the circle. There's a deep backward square, a mid-wicket and a mid-on. I quite like the look of Gilson. He presents the full face of the bat. He's having to work hard against some good bowling at the moment.
Yeah, he looks the part, and his composure is very nice, Andy. Nice to see him absorbing the pressure. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time in a T20 game when you're considering the first 6 overs, where you want to be more attacking, but they've lost 2 wickets, and fresh off a 71 not out, he's got the confidence on his side.
He's gone for the big shot, and he's managed to clear mid-on, and that'll go all the way for 4. He didn't get all of it, but it was a calculated risk.
Just how he got his hands through the ball, you can clearly see it's part of his game plan. If it's up, it's going over. And trusting the willow in his hand. Well played by the 25-year-old. Klaassen won't be too disappointed, Annie, to see that. I mean, a little bit slower on that bat, and it would have gone to Bokaku at mid-on.
Little slower ball there, and it drew the leading edge, and Gilson has to dive to make his ground at the non-striker's end, but they're through for the 1.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's definitely some moisture in the air, and that's helping the bowlers move the ball. I don't think it's rain. I think it's just humidity that's dropping on us.
Sounds like a real farmer, Andy. For a city man like me, if there's moisture coming out the air, falling on the ground, it's rain. But for farmers, you need a little bit more than a drop or 2 to be considered
Well,
rain.
we're quite high up here, you know. We could be in the clouds.
We are, yeah, I know we are. That's Klaassen's running in. Good lines that he's bowling, Andy. He's attacking the stumps, not allowing real room for the batsman. Considering 2 balls to go in this power play, Cape Iinyathis would be quite happy with where this game is going at the moment. Less than 6 runs and over.
Yeah. There's so we've been praising Gilson for the way that he's got himself in. He will probably now be thinking to himself, I've only got 2 balls of power play left. Where am I going to hit it? And through extra is the answer. Is it got enough to go all the way? It's a big chase, but the bull wins the race.
Gives himself a little bit of room. From where we're sitting, looked like he stepped outside leg, freed up his arms. What a powerful young man Gilson is. He smoked it. There's no better word. Through the cover region, a good hand at extra cover. Nonetheless, Niman couldn't stop it, and it's 4 runs for the Tuskers. Good call, Andy. Where's this one going?
Might be the other side. he's picked out mid-on this occasion, and that'll be the end of the power play, end of over number 6, 37 for 2. Tuskers winning the toss, choosing to bat, and so we enter an important phase of the contest.
It's normally about this time of the game that if the captain haven't done so, they'll bring up a spinner. And the Cape Iinyathis with a change. It's that number 15 that we all know. No, it's not number 15. It's Tladi Bokako into the attack. I think Marco just wanted to walk across our images there. It's nice to see him playing a leadership role with Demand. You know, he's going to mid-on. You can see he's right next to the bowler, helping. And he's got some experience, yes, albeit still young. When you play at high levels, you have some wisdom to share with the rest of your team. And a nice crowd here, Andy. Despite the cloud cover, people are turning up here at the City Oval in the capital of KZN.
Yeah, plenty of cars around. So Tladi Bokako is 31 years old now. Grew up in the Eastern Cape, but played his cricket for the Titans and the Lions before going back home. And here he is, right arm, fast medium from the Hewlett's end. Bowling to Jonty Rapalana in the air, one bounce. Oh, they've come. Well, Rapalana was running on the shot, which is never a good idea. Gilson was hanging back, but he's made his ground.
Good timing by Rapalana. He'd be disappointed he didn't get more for that shot. But he's finding the middle of his bat now, Andy, and he'd be excited about that. Looks a little bit restless, but maybe that's just his rhythm that he likes operating at.
Looks like Bokako's deciding to go round the wicket to the left-hander. He's got a third man on the boundary. And now, of course, they've got 4 men out. There's a lot more protection. In the air, and that is between the 2 boundary fielders on the offside. 4 runs. And Sean Gilson looks as if he's got the bit between his teeth.
Not overly convinced, Andy, about coming around the wicket. It's as if Gilson wants the ball to come to him, and coming around the wicket, you have no option but to bowl the ball to the batsman. And he's got some power, this chap.
Yeah, I like him, tall left-hander. Like bowler just held that one back a little bit.
Clever batting, Andy. Got the one. Rapalana, boundary. Now all the pressure's on the bowler. You still have ball 5 and 6 to come, and 4 in fact. And you're one boundary away of it being a bad over.
Yes, that's the point, isn't it? In T20 cricket, things can be looking wonderful after 3 balls, not so much after 6. Oh, that's
Beautiful
a gorgeous cricket shot, isn't it?
My goodness. I think we'll just pencil down this name, Sean Gilson, for the future. He's got it. I mean, we'll still see him against spin, but against seam, albeit medium, we're not bowling 140, 150 at the moment, but he's got quality cricket shots. And just his composure, confident man. His strike rate against Limpopo in the previous game was 230, and he's already racing on with his 19 of 12 balls. It really allows for Kagiso Rapalana on the other end, who's only got 14 of 18 balls to relax a little bit. His strike rate is a little bit low for an opening batsman, but with 2 wickets down, I guess they'd be happy with this, them being the Tuskers.
That's good fielding on the onside. Only one man saving one there, so he really has to cover a lot of ground. He's done well. Partnership now worth 25. They came together with the score at 21 for 2 when Carl Nipper went to the first ball he faced from Chad Clarkson.
Yeah, Carl would be disappointed. He loves his batting and he's a good batsman. He has scored many runs in this field. There's a honours board there in the pavilion, and you'd see his name quite a fair amount of time there for batting. But the nice thing about being an all-rounder, he's going to bowl. He's going to bowl his left arm, spin. Well, he calls it spin. I think it's straight, but he does a good job at it. Good fielding, 2 crucial dot balls, and what could have been an expensive over only went for 5. Well done by the bowler.
46 for 2 after 7, so 13 overs remaining for the Tuskers to put up a defendable total here. You'd think that they'd want 160, 170, but it'll be interesting to see what happens as the ball gets a little bit older and perhaps doesn't come on quite as well as it has been in these opening overs.
Still went for 9 runs at over. What about the extra cover drive? What a beautiful shot that was. But he closed off the over so well, and that's what's important. Ball 5 and 6 allows your partner on the other end, which in this case is a new bowler, number 23, the captain, Jason Niemann. He's going to bowl some spin for us.
Yeah, and he's not the worst, Niemann. Good all-rounder. 25 years old now, and made his debut for Border back in 2016-17 season. Played for South Africa in the Under-19 Cricket World Cup in 2018.
We had a lovely conversation with him at the start of the game, and he started with the dot ball and a full banger outside off. It only goes for 1. I'd be disappointed if I was the batsman there. You don't get many of those in a T20 at this level, and he just nudges it to the sweeper boundary. There's so much opportunity when you get a full toss. I'm not saying go across the line, Andy, but if he just beat extra cover, it would have been 4 with this quick outfield. But nonetheless, I think his mindset is get Gilson on strike. Gilson will move the game forward.
Easy run into the onside. Just looking at the conditions now, Duvan. Cloud cover. As the afternoon progresses, it might get a little bit dark. I'm not expecting them to turn the lights on, though.
Oh, Andy, I've never played here in a day game that they put the lights on. I know they tried last year. It was the day-night game, but that game got rained out, and also the quality of the lights wasn't good enough. I don't think they will. It costs a fortune to put it on.
Well, there you go.
Because it's a very old technique.
That's a
Beautiful
good shot.
Rapalana would want to, and Gilson turns quickly, and a fumble at mid-off by Marco Mare. He's got a rocket of an arm, but the fumble unfortunately allowed for Gilson to get back to the bowler strike. I mean, these lights, I think you put them on, it's 5,000 rands.
Yeah, there you go. 50 comes up with that 2 for Jonty Rapalana in the 8th over. They could think about 2 here. It's a long chase, and Gilson shouts, "No, I'm not coming."
Chad Clarkson has already bowled 2 overs, did a great job getting off the long on boundary, and the Tuskers guys historically have been very good at that. As a batting unit, when the pitch maybe is not as good as it is today, you can really run the opposition off their feet because of the angles of this beautiful oval. And but the Cape Iinyathis, they look prepared, and quality outfield work by Claessens, the bowler from, you said the Highveld, eh? He started his career over there. He's played for I'm thinking of Abrams. New bowler Jay de Klerk. Double spin. Double spin now for the Cape Iinyathis. What do you know about Jade?
Well, I can tell you a few things because I've got them written down. Jade de Klerk, another man who's turned out for SA Under-19. He's a genuine all-rounder, right-hand bat, slow left-arm bowler. And he is now 25 and played for SA Under-19 at the age of 17.
Wow.
And was in the side for 2 or 3 seasons. Actually played 30 games for SA and Under-19 level.
I noticed there on your notes, leading wicket taker. Was that correct?
Leading wicket taker in the provincial T20 last season with 12 wickets and an average of 16, an economy of 7.5.
Wow. So this is an important period in the game for both teams. And he's already dotted up Gilson. Gilson can't get it off the square, straight back at him. And this time he works it to the legs, a little bit shorter by de Klerk. And Gilson works it to deep square.
You were talking a few overs ago about how important spin would be, and I think we've seen it straight away. That take the pace off the ball, and it's a lot more difficult to score runs quickly on this Pietermaritzburg oval.
The running between the wickets becomes so crucial. There's just something in this wicket. The grass grabs that seam a little bit and it becomes a little bit too pacey. It's still a great wicket. Please don't get me wrong. It's just, and a big LBW shout and
Gone.
out. Such a lazy lap shot by Kagiso Rapulana. He'd be so gutted with himself. He kept his head back and he couldn't get his blade out in front of his pads. And the third wicket for the Tuskers goes down in the 9th over.
He's gone for 19, and that is 53 for 3.
Captain walking out. Just hold on. I think it's Chad Laker.
53 for 3 in the 9th. And new man coming out is Chad Laycock, 21-year-old, old boy of Glenwood.
The Rhino, Ahmed mentioned to us before the game, he's really hoping that both these youngsters come off this year. It will mean a lot for their journey here at the Tuskers as well, but for both these batsmen, quality cricketers. I think this is a big partnership in the context of this whole game, Andy. Laycock has done well as a junior schoolboy cricket, and big signing as well for the Tuskers. And hopefully this will be the partnership that gets the Tuskers in a demanding position.
Well, both these players were with the Dolphins last year, and as you mentioned, with Sean Gilson coming up the N3 to try and get a bit more cricket. So they will know each other well.
Yeah, he's not out so far in this year's competition. 19, which included a 6 and a 4 against the Limpopo team.
So Jade de Klerk continuing, now going round the wicket to the right-hander. He'll go back over to the left-handed Gilson. But that's a very good opening over, a successful one. 9 gone now, it's 54 for 3.
The key for batsmen here at the City Oval, Andy, is really getting yourself in. It's a type of wicket that when you get used to the pace, scoring becomes easy against spin and against seam. And you always have more time than you think in the T20. So, yes, maybe they were hoping for more, your 8 runs and over in the power play and up till now, but you can go 8s to 9s to 10s at the end of the innings if you have set batsmen. So the key here for the Tuskers will be set batsmen, but not for the Cape Iinyathis. They're going to want to rush through the next 8 overs or so with their spin attack. And the captain is back, and he starts with a dot ball. So it's very good stuff by the Cape Iinyathis.
They did the important thing, they got 2 early wickets, so the Tuskers didn't get away up front. That is a gorgeous looking stroke for a man who's just come in, and it is 4. It was a long chase around the outfield, but in the end Iinyathi couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too disappointed if I was a fielder there, Andy, and I can tell you why. It didn't look pretty from where we're sitting, and the cameras obviously just missed it, but that area right there is the most difficult part to field on this oval. it looks green from here, but there's actually a dip and then it's all ground. So for him to have gone down was a good job. But he's tested again, Minyanda. And this time he picks it up. He's a good cricketer. 5 of the first 3 balls of the Niemand over. Hey, Laycock, he looks the part as well, Andy.
Straight away, a very impressive cover drive. Single through square. So Gilson's made his platform now, and after his half century in Limpopo, he should be expecting to get on the bus again here. The Iinyathi have got a few spin bowling options, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them using all of them. In the air, gone! He's picked him out. That's a poor shot, really. And the reaction of the batsman tells you everything. So that is 60 for 4 now in the 10th.
Well, the Tuskers only have themselves to blame. Good captaincy by the Cape Iinyathis. I feel they've done well to introduce the double spin. They've got the bulk of their seam overs out the way, and as you say, Andy, they have a lot of spin to come, and it looks like it's the captain, Michael Nicholas Erlang, coming out to bat, and he's been around, and he's been captain here of this Tuskers team for the last 4 seasons, and he can play. A lot will hang on this partnership. The last real recognised batsman walking out to bat now.
And Niemand now has got 1 for 11, and he's got a ball left in his second over. So we're 1 ball away from the halfway mark here. 60 for 4. I was talking about 160 earlier, but with 4 down, that might be a long haul. 10 and over from here. Doable, but only 6 wickets in hand.
I think they'll be happy with 140 from here, Andy. Not what they wanted when they started out, but a lot of work to be done now. If they can get to 140, they'll give their bowlers a chance. You've got quality bowlers as well in that Tuskers team, considering their spin attack. We've spoken about Carl Nipper, and then the man that's taken 10 wickets in 1 innings, Whitehead, he's also bowling. Erlang can get his arm around as well, bowl some quality spinners. Yep. They need to get to that 140 mark.
And here's Erlang facing now. 3rd season as the Tuskers captain for the left-hander, and starts beautifully.
It's no surprise the number 6 was the leading wicket taker last season in the T20 competition. De Klerk, you can see he's clever at what he does, uncomplicated, but he makes subtle changes in his pace that forces the mistake here and there by the batsman.
Lovely atmosphere at the ground. You mentioned that there was a good crowd in. I'm seeing people on blankets with picnics enjoying themselves at the Maritzburg Oval. And hopefully they'll all be back again next Saturday when the Tuskers are on show again. 1 more for the captain. Jade de Klerk has looked good. Quicker ball there, and well played for 1 more, but they need to find a boundary from somewhere. Just one ball left in the 11th over, 65 for 4. Sorry, that is the 11th over completed at 65 for 4, and the spinners are racing through their overs here. So only the 5 singles off the over. That's a problem for the Tuskers. So long chat between the two batsmen about how they're going to approach the next over. Iinyathi will continue into his 3rd over now, captain of the Iinyathi. Now, gaps all over the field for ones, but there are plenty of people on the boundary. Erlang will have to try and find a way through.
It's his 51st match, Andy, in T20 cricket.
Well, he's 34. Went to St Andrews in Bloemfontein. Ooh,
So
missing
good
leg.
LBW decision, shots, but the right decision, Andy. As you said, missing leg.
Looked like the arm ball there. Yeah, tosses one up. That's a good shot, but it's only worth 1. It's just really good bowling from Iinyathi. Not giving them the option of the big hit, and as the over goes closer to its end, you see the batsman thinking about taking a risk. Yeah, the Iinyathi continue to field well in the deep.
Very impressive, Andy. Not the border of old. When I say old, I don't talk about Benjamin Hedges and Standard Bank. Maybe during the amateur era there was just a different culture amongst the team, but this team today pitched up here under the guidance of Tumela Budibe and Rowan Richards, and they just look the part, and you can see that Northern Transvaal, that Titans mindset have filtered into this squad, and they've embraced it, and they look very professional. And if the Tuskers lose another wicket, yeah, it's been all the Cape Iinyathis today.
12 overs gone now, 8 remaining, and these 2 you feel have got to face at least 6 of those 8 if the Tuskers are going to get a defendable score.
The rate has slide down to 5.7.
Oh, he's beaten the outside edge. That was, he's down as a spin bowler. That was sort of medium pace, outside off stump.
I think what makes him a good bowler as a left arm also is his unpredictability. He changes his pace often. And again, it looked like the quicker ball. It actually looked like it's shaped a little bit away from the batsman, from where we're sitting.
He's slinging it down at the moment.
And Gilson looks a little bit under pressure now for the first time in his innings. And he works it finely around his legs, but only for 1. And it's been eons since the last boundary.
Yep, and now Erlang, who's relatively new to the crease, has got to try and find a boundary.
Also fresh off a not out is a good cricketer, Michael Erlang. Debuted in 2008. He's been around for quite a while.
The bowler can't understand how that isn't out. He was expecting to hear the death rattle.
I think we also thought that was hitting the stumps. This time a little bit straighter. And this time Erlang, he uses his straight bat, showing the maker's name to the bowler. And I actually heard it in the Australian England ODI today as well. And the wheel is still around when it comes to cricket. There's a lot of innovation when it comes to cricket shots, but you have to ensure that you are able to do the basics very well. Your Erlang with a strike rate of 200 scored 26 against Limpopo in the previous game. So both these batsmen feel that they're in form and their team will need them today. Top over.
And I just loved the enthusiasm with which de Klerk chased the ball into the outfield there. He was damned if they were going to get back for another one.
Oh, they're all over the Tuskers, the Iinyathi's. Only 3 runs of their previous over.
73 for 4 now off 13. So yeah, you start to say, well, what's the best they could manage? At 10 and over, 140.
Andy, the last boundary was 9.2 overs ago.
Oh, wow. And boundaries were coming relatively thick and fast at that stage. Well, that does tell you something. We were talking about when the power play comes to an end and the spinners come on, it's going to be a lot more difficult to score, and that has been the case. So,
The skipper back in the attack.
and
this
is
time he
last
goes.
over, and that is in the gap. Good shot.
Well played by Gilson. A bit of a relief from the 25-year-old. Willing them on to score some boundaries for our viewers at home, who obviously doesn't have the view. Oh, does he follow the ball? Okay. That camera follows the ball. And he goes again. But this time he mistimes it and it's straight to Cow. The captain, Iman, will be happy to see this. Andy, it looks like the Tuskers have decided they need to push it.
Well, they need a big over, don't they? Just to get back into this contest, and that's well bowled. Saw him coming, fired it in at his toes, and Erlang could do nothing about it. Been very impressed by Niemand. Bowled his 4 overs in a row. Leg by.
Again, good fielding by the Iinyathis. Good job by Bukaku at 45, but I was impressed with Claessens here from long on, running up to ensure if there was a throw, that they don't get the extra run. Gives himself room and it's leg stump out of the ground. Lazy shot by Gilson. The straight to one by Niemand. It just slid on, hitting the shiny side of the ball. And a big wicket for the Iinyathi outfit. And that's the skipper that's working in tandem with de Klerk. The spinners are cleaning up.
That's 79 for 5 in the 14th. And it's asking a lot, isn't it? If the top 5 don't score the runs, it's asking a lot for the lower order to come in and do the job. And Gilson looked like the man who they could base the innings on, but he's gone for 35 now, and they're going to have to start again. And here comes Whitehead, Sean Whitehead, new signing from the Warriors, the 27-year-old. Actually made his T20 debut for Free State against Zimbabwe at the 2016 Africa T20 Cup. Played for South Africa at under 19 level in the Cricket World Cup of 2016. Same year that he made his first class debut for Free State.
Yeah.
Well, he's got no time to get in and work out what's going on here. He's going to have to play shots right from the off.
I think he can't afford it, Andy. I think they need to consolidate now, and even if they can get to 120, it's still a runner ball game. And with good bowling, they have a chance.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the Tuskers have lost that right to play expansive cricket, and they need to consolidate and give the home fans that came out today something to be excited about. Unfortunately, that's not going to be 6s and 4s. 79 for 5 after 14 overs. And Whitehead and Erlang has got their job cut out for them. Niemand impressing with 2 for 16 in his 2 overs.
No, it's 4 overs.
Has he bowled 4 overs already,
Yeah.
Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And now de Klerk, with his last over, has got 1 for 11 runs. And he almost bowls Erlang.
Yep, so it's all going a little bit pear-shaped for the home side, who won their opening T20 match
Against the same opposition.
against indeed, yes.
But the Iinyathi played in a beautiful pull shot and work to be done on the deep square boundary by what looks like Claessen's. The feisty
They organised
seam
that
bowler.
very well, didn't they? They were both closing in on the ball. One realised he was gonna field it. The other one was waiting for the pass, which came. That's a single. So Erlang is playing a shotter ball. Now it's up to Whitehead to try and get on the bus.
Andy, you've done this, and you're the voice behind many sports in South Africa. You've watched a lot of cricket. For me, Andy, I'd like to think a team that fields well is a sign of good coaching. With individual brilliance, you see the batting and the bowling, but a whole unit that fields as well as this Iinyathi team, it tells you that the coaches have worked hard to create a culture.
And of course, traditionally, South African teams have fielded better than anyone else in the world. Ho, 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 ho. And remember the '99 World Cup when Bob Wilmer was the coach, and the phrase that they took with them through the tournament was, "1 run is all it might take."
Sure.
And in the end, of course, they lost by 1 run.
it was that 1 run. Erlang putting himself under pressure by taking a quick single, but the throw goes to the bowler's end, misses the stumps, and Erlang happy to be back on strike.
84 for 5 now. Jade de Klerk, who's bowled really well at the Hewlett's end, has conceded just 16 runs.
And Erlang gets the strike back. An excellent spell by Jade de Klerk. 17 runs of his 4 overs. Got 1 very important wicket in his spell. He got the Rapulana out earlier, who was in at that point. Dismissed him for 19.
LBW and Rapalana done the hard work and then tried to sweep a ball that was a little bit too full.
Do you maybe want to go with all the dismissals?
So Erlang will be on strike now, and Chad Claassen coming back into the attack. 2 overs for 14 hitherto, and picked up the wicket of Kyle Nipper. First ball he bowled, actually. Just go through the card for you. Shackleton caught Malika behind the stumps, bowled Van Sale for 9. That was 20 for 1. 21 for 2 when Nipper was bowled by Claassen without scoring. Here is Claassen back in the attack, and that is going to be our first 6. Oh, what a beautiful pickup. That is a quality stroke from Michael Erlang. Nothing too wrong with the ball. I suppose you'd say it was in the slot and it got what it deserved, but my word, that's a classy stroke from Erlang to take the score to 91 for 5. Just continuing down the card for you. Rapalana, LBW de Klerk 19, that was 53 for 3. Laycock caught it mid-on, or rather mid-off of Niemand for 6, that was 60 for 4. That's a good run. And then last wicket to fall was Sean Gilson, bowled by Niemand for 35. and that was 79 for 5. So it's now 92 for 5, and we've got 28 balls left in the innings. And as Devan van Fake was saying, 120 at least is a run a ball. That will be base camp. But, if they can hit a few more sixes, they've got a chance to get closer to that 140 mark that we feel is par on this pitch. Thought about 2, but 1 is all they will get. So Whitehead gets his second run. Erlang is on 16. And the boundary fielders are scattered far and wide now. We've got a long on, deep mid wicket, deep backwards square, fine leg in the circle. Nobody saving 1 in front of square on the onside. And that's where Erlang sends it through square leg for 1. Must say we've been talking about it, but it's been a good bowling attack, well supported by some excellent play in the field. Niemand in the covers has bowled his 4 overs very well, and he's led the side well as well, bringing Klaassen back into the attack now to help to close the innings. And that's beaten the inside edge, and it rolls to the keeper. First time we've seen that today.
Just a sign of that 2-pace element that's in this wicket. Not something to put you off as a batsman, that will happen. The only mental note you have to make when that happens is you must continue to look to play as straight as possible.
That might be a wide, yeah, it's given. So batsman's done all he can to catch up with that, and he's got underneath it. It's distressing for a pace bowler because you feel you've bowled a good ball there that might have got a wicket, and in the end you're going to have to bowl another one. But that's one-day cricket for you.
Turning out to be a good over for the Tuskers. First time in a very long time that they moved to double figures. 10 runs of this over so far, and 6 of the legs from Erlang started off the over.
First ball of the over, it was a quality stroke from Erlang. Whitehead picks out Niemand in the covers, and no run there, so that brings the over to an end. 95 for 5, and there are 4 overs remaining, so 10 and over would get them to 135. Might not be enough, but that's got to be base camp. That little bit of moisture we had in the air seems to have gone.
And you mentioned earlier that there are more spin options available in this Cape Iinyathi team. Obviously bringing Seamus back, but if they had maybe a decent spinner, I would have thought about it.
Thought about it, yeah, certainly. They've got a couple of guys who can bowl off and slow left arm. They've decided to bring Nico van Zyl back into the attack, and I would expect him to bowl a few slower balls here. He bowled some tidy outswing with a little bit of pace with the new ball. He's going round the wicket to the left-handed Erlang. It's a good strike, but it's only going to be worth 1.
It did look like he rolled his finger over that ball, and based on his field he had, all the boundary riders on the leg side, I think that is the plan, Andy. Spot on. He's looking to get the slow balls in, and I think against the right-hander he'll have a similar field, but a little bit more orthodox.
What have we got? Looks like we've got 3 men saving 1 inside the circle. It's a free hit on the onside for 1 or 2, and there are 4 boundary riders and fine leg inside the circle. Now, has he got that far enough into the gap? He hasn't. It's only 1 again. Haven't been too many 2s hit today.
Good fielding, a sign of good fielding.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before, but when you've got a right-left combination batting, it's a sign. If you're a cricketer, you see the way that they move into position when there's a single. It's not everybody wondering where they ought to be. Well bowled, good Yorker, very nearly got the stumps there.
Just bounces over the bails, and Erlang enjoying that. Happy to still be at the wicket. It was very close. De Klerk's bowling quite well. Here in the 17th over. Sure, Michael Allen looking for the boundary. And he goes big.
Man under it and gone. That's the end of Erlang. Caught in the deep, close to the tree, and Fonsale has his 2nd wicket.
Just mistimed it. Michael will be a little bit disappointed in the nets. He puts these full tosses away. Any day of the week. Slightly mistimed it, and on the deepest part of the boundary, which is next to the tree, the cow fielder catches it comfortably. Safe as houses, so good catch. And walking out to bat now, one of the youngest players in the Tuskers unit, number 66, Ntandu Zuma.
19-year-old wicketkeeper batsman who comes from St Charles College, an establishment that is wise enough to have employed my co-commentator.
Thank you, Andy.
We were there on Monday, Divan, and my first time commentating at St Charles, and I was mightily impressed. I had no idea that they had 9 cricket ovals there, and some good cricketers at the school right now as well.
Yeah, Tando has represented South Africa under 19 on the previous World Cup, a wicketkeeper batsman. He's definitely a promising player for the future, and he is welcomed with a bouncer.
Lovely stuff. As you say, the ball is still round. Bit of old-fashioned cricket. Quick bowler coming into the new batsman. Try this one for size.
That's a good bouncer.
Yeah, a bit of pace there.
Right at that left shoulder of Zuma. And a good dot ball.
It brings a change in the field with cover coming off the boundary and inside the circle. So everybody out on the onside, everybody in bar 3rd man on the offside. This is good bowling from Nico Fonsale. This is a key over. First of all, he's got Erlang out, and secondly, he's kept it quiet for the new man coming in. So 97 for 6. There are only 3 overs remaining and only 4 wickets in hand. And I think that 140 is gone, and 130 might be gone as well. Anything over 120, they'll probably grab with both hands if you offered. And another bowling change, and coming back into the attack is a Iinyathi, the 20-year-old left-arm quickie. And he will be bowling at Sean Whitehead. And Yanda's going to go round the wicket. And once similar field with everybody in on the offside, everybody out on the onside.
It's one impressive over there. Only went for 2 runs, Andy.
Wow.
By de Klerk.
And that's the problem when they hit it into the onside. It's a free run, but that's all it is. It's not a free 2 runs.
And I'll be happy with 18 of those last 3 overs. Them being the Cape Iinyathis.
So he'll be looking to target leg stump coming around the wicket to the right-hander, just like that. Bowler's going to have to get there himself, and he's done well.
Nice zoom off the mark. That will calm him down a little bit.
Well, Sean Whitehead, the new signing from the Warriors, he's got to take control here. They can't just allow the Iinyathi to keep them pegged back. Got to play some big shots. That's a wide. A little bit of early movement from the batsman there that might have just forced the bowler into action.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to give himself some room, Sean Whitehead. Eventually he didn't, and Nyanda pushes it way down the leg side. 2, 3 of the overs so far. 3 balls to come.
That's a good shot. The only man out on the offside is at long off, and he had quite a long way to go. And Whitehead gets back for 2. He was almost lapped by his batting partner there.
That's the one way to go about it. If you're not scoring boundaries, let's get the 2s in. Let's try to push for 3s. And Zuma, the youthful batter wicket keeper, calling for the 2nd and makes it comfortably on the bowler's end.
Well, the untenanted boundary is beyond the single savers on the offside. Got to find a way to either go through or over them. And that's well organised. Good cricket from both batsman and bowler there. Just one. So we're already at the stage now, the 100 having come up 103 for 6, that the Tuskers know whatever happens from here, they're going to have to bowl well.
Most definitely. And being the home team and having a look at this wicket, they most definitely will have some good plans. It's about that execution that's going to be important. And Zuma with a beautiful drive to long off. Only one though, but nice to see him finding the middle of his bat. And a full blade presented to the bowler.
Yeah, first time I've seen him, but it looks as if he can hold a bat. That's the first thing to say about anybody. And Tando Zuma, the 19-year-old, made his debut for the Tuskers in his matric year last year.
Where do you think he's going to go? He needs that boundary.
Yeah, it's up to the bowler not to give him space.
Hey!
Oh, he's found the boundary. That's gone into the pavilion for 6. Second 6 of the innings.
Much needed boundary, and Sean Whitehead just helps it along. The danger of coming around the wicket is erring on the leg side, and he does. He's worked hard to not be overly expensive this over, but Sean Whitehead, cool, calm and collective, smacks him over deep square into the beautiful portrait the Inland put up on the wall from their previous trophy season. 6 runs.
110 for 6 now, 2 overs remaining. Well, 15 and over will get them to that 140 mark. That's not out of the question, but Nico van Zyl last over went for 2. So, you know, he's done very well.
His fielders are... Somebody's made a mistake. 45 is up. And, yep, no. The captain is calming things down.
Noticeable that Long On has come in 10 metres from the boundary. As I say that, he's now walking backwards.
And he's sending 45 to fine leg, allowing him the opportunity to bowl those 2 bounces allowed in over. It's 2, Andy, in a
That's
T20.
right.
Let's see what he bowls to Zuma. He runs in and it's up, and Zuma throws his hands through it. 2 cow only for 1, and it brings Whitehead onto strike.
You know, one of the things, Devan, it's easier said than done, but when you've got so much space on the onside, you actually don't want to whack the ball. You want to push the ball and come back for 2.
And if you hit it in the gap and you hit it really well, it will be 4 eventually. You don't want to whack it, you're right, Andy, because that's normally when you lose your shape and you mistime it and eventually you don't even get 1.
So Whitehead on strike now. He hit a maximum in the last over, and he'll be eyeing more of the same here, but Nico van Zyl has got a bit of pace. It's a good straight hit. They've got a chance of 2 here. Oh, I really feel that Zuma could have pushed back there. Whitehead sent him back.
Yeah, he wasn't interested in taking 2, but no need for a run out.
Ten balls left in the innings.
Oh,
that's
straight to
bad
second
luck.
count.
Oh, it might not be bad luck. They should be running here, and they're not. Just there's no communication between the 2 batsmen there. Whitehead was so intent on making sure that he got back to the striker's end that he didn't realise that they could have had a second there.
Well strike by Zuma. Unfortunate for him, but it hit the stump out of the ground. Whitehead now, I think he's eyeing the cover boundary. Good ball.
That is good bowling, isn't it? Because he saw Whitehead backing away, looking at that extra boundary, and followed him. So Whitehead can only make 1 into the onside.
Good over again by de Klerk. He's closing up this innings very... Van Zyl, apologies. He's closing up this innings very nicely. 2 of the previous over he bowled, and now a run a ball.
Yeah, he comes with a good reputation, does Nico van Zyl, and I've been impressed. Swung the ball with the new ball, and has bowled with great ideas in the last 2 overs. That is going to go all the way. What a shot from Zuma. That has brought the crowd to life. Well, he's a local hero. Hails from Sweetwaters, came to the Tuskers through the Sweetwaters hub, educated at St Charles College on a bursary, and he has obviously got a little bit of talent. The mystery ingredient.
What a good shot. Clears the boundary with ease, but you know what the danger sign there is, and it's still a good wicket. And 120, they will need to bowl very well, the Tuskers, if they want to defend that. He's shimmying, and too much shimmying. A ball that was outside off. He would have normally hit well for 4. He misses Zuma.
So we come to the last over. It's 120 for 6. So 10 off the over, 130. It's something you can bowl at.
Yes.
But I think maybe good toss to lose for the Iinyathi. They've bowled well and with variety. Their ground fielding has been excellent. They've given nothing away in the field. We've had no overthrows. I think I can remember one fumble on a difficult piece of outfield. Other than that, clean fielding. And this is what I like to see. The skipper's given the ball to the youngster, Iinyathi, the 20-year-old, and said, "You're my man. Bowl the last over." And he's up against a bloke who's trying to hit him for 6 every ball in Sean Whitehead. So this is the learning curve for young cricketers. People are coming and going in the field as they mix and match. So it looks like he's intending to bowl short by the look of the field. Fine leg and third man both in the ring. Square leg in the ring, short extra cover in the ring. Everybody else scattered to the 4 winds. And Whitehead's got a lot of that. There's a man there. He shelled it.
A diving effort on the sweeper boundary by Christopher Gleaves. But he unfortunately missed it. He'd be disappointed being a professional cricketer, but a good effort. Yeah. Nice to see him diving on that hard outfield.
I think, to be fair, half a chance. It was almost on the ground already by the time he got there. But as you say, professional cricketers judge themselves by a higher standard. It went for 4 and not for 6. At one stage I thought it might have gone through his hands and over the rope. No,
the bowler wasn't happy with coming over, and he was in debate with the skipper, but now he's changed back to around, and I think that they're not certain about the game plan because of Whitehead that hit the previous over, a 6-over deep square.
This is a terrible thing for a young bowler because you can't change the field every ball.
There's Whitehead now, giving himself room, and he's going over.
It's
over
safe.
Cover.
And they will get back for 2.
And Whitehead has proven here in his 20-odd runs, you can score runs. You can score runs on this wicket. And you can hit boundaries as well. Iman Zuma has hit a couple 6s and a couple 4s in this partnership.
Is 29. They'll think about 2, and they're not going to get there. Even though there was a fumble in the outfield, Whitehead decided very early on that he wasn't coming back there. He would have been running to the danger end, and now he goes down for a chat with his batting partner. And Nyanda's now in his 4th over and has gone for 31. Well, better than that, but that's the brutal reality of T20 cricket. Slower ball, well bowled. Zuma pulls it away for 1, and they race back for 2. That's much better. I feel that they should have been doing that a few overs earlier.
This is actually a very good innings from Thando Zuma. Being a youngster and coming in at the latter part of an innings of a T20 under pressure, he's done very well to give himself and his team a total that they'd be happy with. The slower ball, and he works it around to fine leg again, and he's running hard. He's taking the arm on, and he makes it.
That's great running, because that's a good arm, that.
That was a rocket.
Zuma goes to 12. Sorry, 14. 131 for 6. Last ball. Last ball of the innings, unless he oversteps or bowls a wide. Oh,
Good
that's
ball.
a beautiful piece of bowling. Looking for the leg stump Yorker. He's got that one in his locker. Only one for Zuma, so he finishes on a very good 15 not out. Whitehead finishes 22 not out, and 132 for 6 is the final score for the Tuskers, who won the toss and chose to bat. And at the end of the day, they'll feel at least 20 runs short. And Devan, they're going to have to really field like the Iinyathi did and bowl out of their socks to defend that score.
The one thing, Andy, that they have in their favour is the home ground advantage. So players like Kyle Nipper, Michael Erlang, both spin bowlers, they'll really play an important role in this defending innings. And then Sean Whitehead, he can also bowl you your 4 overs of spin. But it's key that they come out and field as well or even better as the Cape Iinyathi team here. It can be enough runs. It's a type of wicket that again proved that you have to spend time at the wicket to really get yourself going. But I agree with you. I think that 20 runs short here of a pass score on this wicket that we saw. They're going to have to work hard.
Now I'm going to go through the batting card. You're going to pull up the bowling figures, and let me just go through that card. Shackleton caught Malakia, bowled Finsale for 9. That was 20 for 1 in the 3rd over. Kyle Nipper went to the first ball he faced, and the first ball bowled by Chad Clarkson for a duck. He played on. That was 21 for 2 in the 4th. And then Rapalana, LBW to Clerk for 19, sweeping against the spinner. That was 53 for 3 in the 9th. The 4th wicket to fall was Laycock, caught it mid-off the bowling of Niemand for 6. Niemand bowled very well, 4 overs, 2 for 16. That was 60 for 4 in the 10th, so the halfway mark, 60 for 4. Gilson had played a good innings of 35 and was just starting to get going when he was bowled by Niemand for 35. 79 for 5 in the 14th, and then Erlang, the skipper, after he had just laid a good platform, was caught in the covers off the bowling of Finsale for 18. That was 97 for 6 in the 17th. Whitehead finished 22 not out, including a maximum, and Zuma also had a 6 in his 15 not out. 132 for 6. Bowling figures.
The spinners made all the difference in this innings. Jason Niemand with his 2 for 21 and 4 was excellent, and he supported the Clerk, Jade de Klerk, very well. 1 for 17. The leading wicket taker, of course, last year in this T20 competition. Van Sale, Nico did a great job early on with the new ball, but particularly in closing down with his 3rd over going only for 2 runs. He ended with 2 wickets for 22 in his 4 overs. The rest of the seamers, they were decent. Nyandu, 0 for 36, and Claessens, 1 for 24. Bokako also bowled an over, just to change things up. He bowled 3 dot balls, but the rest of his 3 balls went for 9 runs. I think, Andy, Cape Iinyathi, they'd be satisfied with the effort. They really look the part. And if you had to pick a team at the halfway mark here, Andy, who would you favour?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt at all. Tuskers won the toss, chose to bat. They would have been looking at between 150 and 160 as a good score, and they've fallen a long way short at a 132 for 6. So we will be back for the chase. Don't go away, but go and make yourself a cup of tea. You've got plenty of time.
Daniel Pietermaritzburg.
That's an excellent delivery by.
Yeah, balls to Van Der. Goes on the shorter side. Van Der tries to lift that. And John takes it beautifully at that far leg.
There you go.
Oh, Aldred rocking. Oh, and what a...
Aye.
And this time, he's taken.
Oh, and this time he...
How he goes about it. Daniel Beche and Kim runs down.
And Masono
Falls that.
Welcome back to the ACDC Electric Pietermaritzburg Oval, where the Tuskers won the toss and chose to bat. The home side putting up 132 for 6 in their 20 overs, and they are out on the field now looking to defend that score against a very impressive Eastern Cape Iinyathi side, who bowled to a plan throughout and fielded excellently. And throwing caution to the wind, Michael Erlang, the captain of the Tuskers, is going to open the bowling himself with his off spin. He's going around the wicket, and a little bit of turn with the first ball. Tavan van Veeks alongside me. What do you think of this as a tactic?
Andy, I love it, and it shows the home ground advantage that the Tuskers enjoy here at the Oval. Michael Erlang has been the captain for 4 years now, and I know his dad Godfrey will be listening. I hope you're doing well, sir. Erlang, well experienced, and he's got a quiet confidence about him in his cricket game. Debuted in 2008, but I love the fact that the opening was spin, Andy. That's what you need, a great pull shot, and well timed for 4 runs. They will need a few of those, not too many, chasing only 132 today, but I enjoy the confidence in this Tuskers team, and I do believe, when we saw it in the first innings, that spin will do the job here.
So Jerome Bossa, the left-hander, opening his account with a 4. That'll be one more to the one boundary rider on the onside.
I think it's fair to say, don't bowl short to him. 2 beautiful pull shots.
That's right. Nathan Rue is his opening partner, and he is making his mark now. 26-year-old, he can keep wicket, and played a little bit for the Knights. Born in Queenstown, the lovely town of Queenstown.
Where did he school? Do you know?
I should know that, shouldn't I? I don't have it written down. I wonder whether it was Queen's College.
Well, I was wondering, just as you said, Queenstown, traditionally very good cricket school. Tapi Sundlela chasing in from long on, and he loses his balance slightly. Still a good throw, but 2 runs, and the end of the first over, went for 7 runs. Decent first over.
No real perils, was there? Although there was a little bit of turn for Erlang. It was slow turn, and the batsmen had plenty of opportunity to just get on the back foot and pick their spot. So that's a good start to the chase for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. And now here's a chance for a little bit of seam for the home side. So this will be Umbolelo Wadaza for the home side. Coming in from the Hewlett's end to Jerome Bosser. Ooh, bit of pace, bit of swing. Well taken. And I see we've got a slip in place.
He's played 46 T20 games as Budaza, and he's taken 50 wickets. And he's got a healthy average of 21.4 and a decent economy at 8.4 for an opening bowler in T20 cricket. A left armer is one that has been underestimated in his career. Quicker than you think, and he does have good skills as a swing bowler.
Not beating mid-off on that occasion. Yeah, 31 years old, born in Grahamstown and went to Woodridge College, which produces so many good cricketers and hockey players. Down there in the Eastern Cape. Says his early hero was Lamwabo Tsotsoba, who you would have faced. Good swing bowler with the left arm.
Oh, they've got similarities, more than just being left armers.
Well, he's not got all of that, and he's not going to get 4, but it's over the infield. That was the important thing.
He ticks it over. 2 runs added to the scoreboard. We can recall in the Tuskers power play they lost 2 important wickets.
At 20 and 21, yeah, just a good start. The boundaries were flowing, and then 2 wickets in the space of 3 balls. No, 2 balls. No wide. Play on. Jerome Bosser facing. Second time I've commentated on him. Actually might be the 3rd. But the last time he was wearing rugby gear for Glenwood. Fly half.
Oh, right.
And a very good fly half. Looked as if he might follow the oval ball game into the professional ranks, but decided against it and has stuck to cricket since then.
Well, he likes playing aggressive, as we've seen so far. In the first game against Limpopo, he smacked a 30 of only 16 balls, 3 4s and 2 6s, but he's being undone at the moment by the swing bowling from Budaza.
Well, we saw this with the Iinyathi as well, didn't we? Nico Funsail with the new ball swung it nicely, also from the Hewlett's end. And what I like about Budaza is he's bowling a full length. And with a slip in place, you can take the drive on, but with the swing, you might just hole out. Oh, well bowled. That's a good Yorker. Good over, actually,
Very
from
good over.
Budaza.
A very good over that only went for 2 runs. Exactly the type of start the Tuskers would be looking for. I mean, add a couple of wickets. And an early bowling change by the Tuskers skipper. He pulled himself off after 1 over. And it looks like it is Abrams into the attack.
Aha! I wonder if his uncle Shafiq is listening. Hello, Shafi, if you are. What a fine, fine cricketer he was, and what a lovely man.
Well, Abrams has played a fair amount of cricket himself.
He's 27 now, and first season with the Tuskers. And here he is, Ziad Abrams. Oh, leading edge, got away with it. They're going to look for 2 here. and they will get back for 2. Yeah, third man had a long way to go to his right.
He's got some SA 20 experience under the belt. Played for the My Cape Town team. And, well, a lot of action here at the ACDC Express Maritzburg Oval.
That's a lovely shot. That'll be 4 runs. That's the best stroke that we've seen in the innings so far from Nathan Rue. Didn't look like a half volley. Hit it on the up.
He just timed it gently. Got his hands through the ball. Solid base. And played a little bit away from his pad, but his head is in a good position and his hands adjusted nicely with a little bit of swing. Abrams. And he hits the pad. It's a confident LBW appeal, but
Going down, I would say.
umpire Juma not interested in that appeal.
Well, I tell you what, the bowler needs to have a word with his keeper, because his keeper was shouting for LBW and he was standing at leg slip.
That's a bit of a giveaway. But from where we positioned right behind the stumps, it looked like it was sliding down as well.
A good comeback after going for a boundary. Looked like he just held that bouncer back a little bit. Batsman had to adjust. And the problem that the Tuskers have got is they just haven't got enough runs to play with to give away too many early boundaries.
They're doing well at the moment. Keeping the Cape Iinyathis to just under 6s and over at the moment, into the 3rd over of the innings. They would want that wicket, or a couple of wickets in this power play. Assistant coach and South African Protea bowler Yusuf Abdullah has been drilling these guys hard during the off-season.
Sliced away. Couple of bounces to third man. There was a big heave-ho from Jerome Bosser.
Eight of the over so far, and very important 6th delivery to come.
Yep, that's over the infield, and they'll think about 2 here. They're turning to come. Good throw, but that's well judged as Bosser comes back to the danger end. So it's an expensive over for Abrams. 3 gone now, and it is 19 without loss. Chasing 133 to take the second match of their campaign. They lost the first against Limpopo, and interestingly, the Tuskers played the same team, the defending champions, and they beat them. So Tuskers know the way to get over the finish line, but they've got to find a way into this game from here.
Who's the keeper? Tando Zuma.
Oh, that is not past the infield, but they have got a single. It is noticeable that there's a lot more urgency in the running than we saw during the Tuskers innings.
Particularly at the start of the Tuskers innings, when they were willfully hitting boundaries. And it's not then when you regret it, it's the end of the game when you could have scored maybe 140. If you add a couple of singles to that total. So really from ball 1, you need to be intent on turning the scoreboard over. Excellent fielding from Abrams there at mid-off, considering he just bowled an over. Quick off his feet, got around quickly, and he definitely stopped the boundary, saved his team 3 additional runs. Budaza bowls him! What a ball! Little bit of in shape, Andy. I'll leave the rest to you.
Almost yorked him, I think. It was that full. And Nathan Rue was looking to push it through mid-on, missed, and it hit off stump, and that's exactly what the Tuskers needed. They couldn't allow, with a small total to defend, the opposition to get away to a flyer. So they've managed to haul it in with that wicket, and it'll be interesting to see which way they go from here. So 20 for 1, and we're in the 4th over.
Well, in walks the captain, Jason Niemann. He is joining his partner at the crease, and as Andy Capistanios just said, it's 20 for 1. What a beautiful ball by Budaza, and he's such a dangerous bowler. A little bit underrated in SA cricket. At the right time he strikes. Niemann, no stranger to batting up the order. Am I right, Andy?
Yeah, frequently in at 4. He's in at 3 today. Scored 211 runs in the T20 competition last season at a strike rate of 133. Nothing wrong with that. And Michael Erlang is still in place at slip for Budaza to Niemand. Carves it down to 3rd man for 1. What has been very evident from Budaza is he's been swinging the ball consistently and quick enough, not express, but he's found a full length, hasn't allowed himself to be cut or pulled. Now Jerome Bossa has lost the strike for a little while. Last time he faced, he aimed an almighty heave-ho. This is the sort of situation where you might get him out if you bowl it in the right spot. Yeah, there's another heave. He's a better player than that. Gets a single for it.
I think that's his role in the team, considering his overall strike rate and what he did in the previous game against Limpopo. He's not one here that's going to hang around without the scoreboard moving along. But that was a bit of a wick. Not very elegant.
You'll have to forgive me, I'm old school. I like to see the left elbow.
Very important.
It's a good line from Budaza, very well fielded.
Top fielding. You can't keep him out the game. Number 25, Gilson. He's been in the run so far. He's got 100 runs in the competition in 2 games. I would think he'd be disappointed today, Andy.
Having set himself up 35, better than a runner ball, and then gave it away, and he knew he'd given it away.
Budaza's last ball of his 2nd over, the 4th over of the innings.
Again, there's an example of a run straight to the fielder, which we didn't see enough of in the Tuskers innings. So end of the 4th over, it's 24 for 1, which is fairly analogous to the way that the Tuskers began their innings, although they lost 2 wickets at the end of the 3rd and beginning of the 4th over, so 21 for 2 at that stage. By the end of the 4th over, they were about 24 for 2 instead of 24 for 1. So this game is not getting away from the Tuskers at the moment, but you feel that they're going to have to take wickets consistently to defend 132.
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. As a batsman, you get yourself in this wicket, and the longer you bat, the easier scoring becomes. It is one where you have to work for your runs a little bit. And if you don't take wickets, batsmen are allowed to stay in. And a good single taken to mid-off. And a more elegant shot. played.
I was about to say, having criticised him for the smear off the last ball he faced, nothing wrong with that at all. Nicely played. That's where you want to see the left-hander, testing mid-off to their left.
Yeah, and if Laycock made a slight error in judgment there with this quick outfield, that perfectly timed shot would have raced away for 4. But nonetheless, it's Niemann facing Abrams now. Abram goes a little bit short and top fielding by Rapulana at points. Not even a chance of a single, and big important dot ball. And Precious building on the Cape Iinyathi batsman here on this beautiful ACDC Express Maritzburg Oval. Nice to see the crowd pulling up. A lot of sixes being hit on the park next to us.
Up in the air, and he's managed to place it straight between mid-off and mid-on for a couple.
Unlucky Nibs. Well, what saved him was a straight bat and the high elbow, the left elbow. Mr. Capistanio. And he managed to get to the scoreboard. It's a good start by the bowling unit. They're not really giving anything away, Andy, and it's allowed them to create energy in the field. And although I don't think the Cape Iinyathi batsman is under any pressure whatsoever at this point in time, with only 1 wicket down, they still need to be mindful of ticking the scoreboard over. 132. There's still a reasonable amount of runs.
You know, especially the fact that we're in the power play. Only 2 men allowed on the boundary. Half a shout for caught behind there, as Bossa tried to hit it through square leg and missed.
I think it's a delivery like that indicates why a player like Abrams would have played for the My Cape Town team. He's unpredictable, a short, skiddy, fast bouncer in T20 crickets, like we've just seen. It's not easy to hit, and his variations has proven to be useful.
That's a better shot from Bossa. He's picked the gap this time for 4.
Well, this time a bit predictable. A good bouncer and a couple of words between the batsmen and the bowlers. It's a juicy game, yeah, today.
32 for 1 from 5, chasing 133 to win. So pretty much keeping up with the required rate. But we have a contest. Badaza is going to bowl his 3rd over from the Hewlett end,
Like maybe get for the next over.
having picked up a wicket in his previous over. Oh, very nearly holed out there, but got away with it. I think Niemann perhaps aware that they just need to get ahead of the run rate. I'm noticing, Divan, that Jonty Rapulana is fielding in Jonty's position. I wonder whether he's aware that Jonty's above the
yes.
The dressing rooms in that flying dismissal from the 1992 World Cup.
That's Jonty Rhodes on top. Another north-south on top of the stand.
It's a weather vane, and
That's Jonty Rhodes.
it depicts Jonty running out Inzamam ul Haq in a little piece of history. That the picture that it's based on actually was very fortunate that it was taken. The photographer had almost run out of film, and these days of course everything's digital, you never run out. But in those days he'd almost run out of film, and there he is on screen now. That's Jonty Rhodes running out Inzamam Hack, and from that position on top of the pavilion, you can see Maritzburg College where Jonty learnt to play. There's a good shot from Jerome Bossa. A little bit too much bottom hand for the purists, but it's 4.
He's the rugby player
Yes.
that you saw. So he's the rugby player, Andy, that you saw. And I think what happened in this previous over, when there was some words between him and the bowler, that South African Springbok blood came out a little bit, and he looks the part now. He played a beautiful pull shot for 4, and that straight to ball, he's now smacked through the mid-wicket area for 4. It's the type of player I think you don't want to get upset.
Yeah, good call. Never a run there.
Yes, no call, and good backing up by Abrams.
That's a sign of a good side, isn't it? That they had not 1 but 2 people backing up. The first man wasn't able to intercept. Second man got it.
One thing you'll always find with the Tuskers, or previously known KZN Inland team, is good fielding. Not always in this case, there's a lot of talented players, but in the past you had players here that really worked hard. Not always the most talented, but fielding is something you can control, and it's nice to see the Tuskers team still enjoying that good fielding element. Budaza bowling his 5th ball. I thought it's his last ball of the over. He takes slightly longer than the other bowlers. He's got a long run up. Being a big guy, he takes his time to get to his mark. But I don't think Michael Erlang will worry about that with all the spin options he's got in his team. And I'm confident spin will be next up.
You think Nips will bowl the next over?
I think so. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't bowl his 4 on the trot.
So, last ball of the power play, Budaza's 3rd over.
Hey!
Hold him! Oh my word! Oh, that was a horrible shot from Jerome Bossa, and he knows it. He has gone for a quite rapid 20, and it is 37 for 2, and that, at the end of the power play, will really give a boost to the Tuskers side. And with Bossa gone, there's an open end for Kyle Nipper to bowl to.
Well, Andy, I also thought it was rapid, but 20 of 20 balls, I think maybe that's led to the shot that he played. It's not a position that he's used to as a batsman. He loves moving the game forward, and maybe 132 is enough. The 2nd wicket goes down in the power play, and it's Marco Mare walking out to bat now.
And big up for Budaza,
Exactly
who
the same.
I think has bowled quite beautifully there, and has controlled matters from the Hewlett's end. He's bowled both batsmen that he has dismissed, clean bowled with full length deliveries, hasn't hardly bowled a short ball,
Not one.
kept it up there, swung the ball, and really, that's a captain's dream. You're quite right, Kyle Nipper coming on. No,
It's the other spinner, Sean Whitehead.
it's Whitehead.
And an interesting fact that Peter, our main producer here from Pitch Vision, has given us is the Tuskers were 37 for 2 as well after 6.
Aha.
That's game on, sir.
Yes, it is indeed, and it will be down to how well the spinners bowl. Sean Whitehead, remember, is one of the few men to have taken all 10 in an innings.
In world cricket.
In world
What
cricket.
an amazing accomplishment.
Correct.
Oh! I thought that it was out, but
Crowd
he hit it
catch.
into the ground.
I don't expect a former first-class cricketer to fall
I would
for a
appeal
crowd
for that.
catch.
I would have appealed for it. I love the feeling. I think it was one of the most you have to enjoy yourself if you're just a fielder. I mean, I batted and then no one wanted me to bowl. Whitehead, and he looks the part, and I can imagine why he moved with all the quality spinners in the Eastern Cape area and in the Warriors when Simon Harmon was still there, and the list continues. But he's got a beautiful left-arm action. 2 dot balls to start his account. Beautiful
That's a good shot. There is a man there. He's not going to reach. Yeah, beautifully played. by Niemand.
And Carl Nipper is one of the quickest men on the cricket field, and he didn't even attempt to stop that ball. The quickest part of the field, 4 runs. What a quality cricket shot. This captain is a good cricketer.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Looks a lot better than a second division player.
For sure.
And he goes for the sweep this time. He was in position early. And always like to see a man who can sweep in front of square.
This is an interesting thing, Andy. One thing we haven't really spoken about is the batsman's ability to play spin. And if the Cape Iinyathis have Niemand and a couple others, Mare we know can take spinners apart, the spin element might not be a factor as we thought in this innings, but only time will tell.
Yeah. Well, this is the time that you want to don't stray from your streaming device, because Marco Murray is on strike. A farmer from the Eastern Cape with arms like most people's thighs.
Well, he came down his first ball. I mean, his intent is clear. We're going to have to speak to pitch vision here. Maybe we need some screen cover here in front of us. Sitting on the outer edge of this pavilion. And he bowls short, but it's a quicker ball. Clever by Whitehead, and they know each other.
Yes. Probably bowled a lot at each other in the nets. That's the end of Whitehead's first over, and a really good one from him. 7 gone now, 43 for 2, so 6 off the over, including a boundary. And this is the key moment now with these two together. If Marco Murray gets going, go home. So they've got to get him early.
And it would have been entertaining.
Yes.
Well, in saying that, it has been an entertaining match so far. And a big thank you to our producers from Pitch Vision, bringing you the Division 2 cricket from the CSA T20 knockout. And it really adds something to our professional cricket here in South Africa.
Badaza's going to bowl 4 in a row.
And why not, Andy? He's really bowled well. That one also touch and go on that red line. But the umpire has been consistent. And that's what's important in both the first innings and this one. 6.29 runs and over at the moment by the Cape Iinyathis. Slightly below the 6.6 is required at the start of the innings. It's one way of doing it, bowling your 4 up front.
Especially with the ball moving. I'm a big fan of that. If the ball is swinging, let your opening bowler try and win you the game up front, because it won't be swinging when he comes back in over 14, 15, whenever, and then it can be cannon fodder.
Well, Andy, we did another game in the week previously, and I know it's a different level, but it's contrasting to seeing a captain making decisions on the field to where there was a predetermined bowling plan in the other game we watched where they rotated the bowlers every over. And this is nice to see, that the captain is playing the conditions and the bowler in form at the moment.
Oh, edged, and that'll be 4. I was just wondering whether they might dare put a slip in, and that would have been straight down first slip's throat. But as it is, it's 4.
Well played. Well played. Very fine. As you said, Andy, if there was a slip in place, and not so long ago there were one, Michael Erlang found himself there, but he put himself into the covers now. And well played by Niemand. Such a gentle touch. Off the middle of the bat for 4 runs.
No, so you double click on it, and then just go click the last video you guys saved.
One thing that Niemand is going to have to think about is Marco Murray at the non-striker's end is not the fleetest foot between the wickets, and those drop and go singles aren't possibly going to be there where they were earlier. So it's 48 for 2. We've got 2 deliveries left in the 8th over. 133 is the target. Little slower ball, but again, that full length with a little bit of drift, keeping the batsman honest.
Really bowling well.
The other thing is people forget, you're a batsman, I was a bowler, people forget, bowlers respond to rhythm, and you can't get into a rhythm if you're bowling 1 or 2 over spells. Whereas here, we've seen a really good use of the new ball by Budaza.
He's bowled 3.4 overs, 3.5 apologies, and he's gone for 15 runs, 2 wickets. It's been an unbelievable opening spell.
And it brings shots like that into play because he's not offering you any width. That is a top effort, and very good to see him being congratulated because that really is, that's bowling for your team. Umbalelo Budaza, he finishes with 2 for 17 off his 4 overs.
It's a top spell by Budaza. And, well, his job's done for the day. Might have to catch a ball or 2. Remember the MTN 40 and you had 12 guys and 1 guy can come onto field? That would have been the scenario now for Budaza. Bowled his 4 overs. Coach, I'm done for the day. But
Get in the bath, have a
Yes.
nice massage on the bed.
You know, he didn't bat. He bowled his 4 overs in the first 8 overs of his game, and the job's done. The run rate, Andy, slipped down to only 6s and over.
We've got a contest here. Sean Whitehead to continue with his slow left arm. Bowling to Marco Murray.
And a fan dressed in all the Tuskers kit available walks past the side screen. A lot of respect, sir.
Well, he's had a good day, Sean Whitehead, hasn't he? 22 not out off, I think, 15 balls. The last wicket partnership, the 8th wicket of the innings, was the biggest of the innings, 35. Oh, bowler will be distressed that he missed that. Slow left armers set a very high standard for
Well done, Kyle.
fielding off their own bowling. But in some ways, he's got the danger man to the non-striker's end. Having said that, Niemand,
Oh, he looks
Looks
form at the moment. And he's sweeping and he's played some beautiful shots the previous over against Whitehead.
just the single there.
What else do you know about this this captain of Cape Iinyathi, Andy?
So,
because he's one to look out for. Most
50
definitely.
50 has come up. And, well, he made his debut for Border back in 2016 and played for South African schools and under-19s at the Under-19 World Cup. 3 seasons with Exmouth Cricket Club down in Devon. You must have pro'd in England.
I have, yes.
So the Devon League is quite a strong league.
Walking across his stumps is Murray and creates some excitement, but right out the screws of his bat works it down to Gilson.
Something I must say before a wicket falls, very, very rarely do you get 2 men at the crease together who have both made a first-class triple century.
Wow.
That's in the air. Is it over Nipper's head? Yes, it is. Maximum.
And much needed maximum by the Cape Iinyathi batsman, Marco Murray. The rate slipped down to 5.7s prior to that ball. But that 6 smacked the run rate back up above the 6s required per over. What a beautiful shot, and the field all of a sudden looks small.
That's what he brings to the party, isn't it? That he can clear the ropes.
Also sweet waters,
New bowler coming on for the Tuskers to replace the very impressive Mbalelo Bodaza, is Tabiso Ndlela, another Sweetwater's Hub product, who went to St Charles, and indeed the trick year was just last year. Medium pace bowler coming on from the Hewlett's end, and he's got a hard act to follow.
Yes, I think it's a very different ball game to 2 overs ago when Bodaza bowled. Tabiso matriculated with Thando Zuma last year at St Charles, and he'll be hoping he hits Zuma's gloves in this over a few times. Bowling to Marco Mare. He bowled against Limpopo. He took 2 for 19.
This time, third man will haul that in easily, Carl Nipper. So I mentioned both of these batsmen have got a first-class triple century.
It's amazing.
So Niemand got his a couple of seasons ago. It's 7 years since Marco Murray set a new world record for the fastest triple century in first-class cricket.
Sure.
And it is something quite remarkable. He got 300 not out, batting for Border against Eastern Province in the 3-day cup off 191 balls.
That is unbelievably quick. Top fielding.
So you can only imagine the number of boundaries that featured in that 191 ball, 300 not out. And here is a man who can hit the ball out of the park on any ground in the world.
There's a substitute on the field, and that is the chap who fielded so well, Dylan Finn. And covers and he goes over.
There's a man there. It's just, no, it's pierced the 2 men on the boundary on the offside, and it is away for 4.
And Leila giving a little bit too much room at the start of his spell. Good lines, good length for 1-day or 4-day cricket, but just for T20 cricket, he want to close up Murray. It's just giving himself too much room. Understand it's off the outside edge, however, he allows the batsman to free up his arms. Beautiful
That's a
straight
good shot,
drive.
isn't it? Just for 1.
He knows off the field.
So Dalen Finn is on. Actually, I WhatsApped Etienne Finn earlier today saying, is he one of yours? And he said to me that we have a motto in the Finn family, we are many. So he said he's probably related, but I can't tell you exactly where from. The Finn family originated with the under-20s, the 1820 settlers. Bowled him! It's a no ball!
He's bowled him!
Oh no! I think that's the first no ball of the day, and it is trimmed middle and off.
My goodness, he will be gutted, and so will the rest of the Tuskers team and the fans. What an anticlimax, and it allows Niemand the opportunity to relax, takes a deep breath, and well, the best thing about that is he's got a free hit now.
Free hit.
What an excellent delivery.
I'm pretty sure that's the first no ball of the match. And what a moment for that to happen. 65 for 2.
It was such a good ball. He broke the bail as well.
Oh, he's broken the bell. I wonder what the hiatus was. So we'll have to wait for some new equipment. So yeah, I was just talking about the Finn family who came over on the ships with the 1820 settlers. And Etienne Finn has gone into his family tree and discovered that he is directly related. And Etienne, who of course played for the Springboks at tight head prop and the Sharks, now helping with the sports coaching at St David's, Ananda, who we commentated on Tuesday at Maritzburg College.
Wow. Yeah, Etienne Finn, Springbok. And he actually matriculated at St. Charles
That's
College.
right, yeah. It wasn't his only senior school, he reminds me.
No, it wasn't.
He was a naughty boy in those days.
Let's see what
Right,
it
free
is.
hit. And that is not going to be 4. Back for 2.
So a total of 3 runs, but a lot of drama.
Yeah,
The
so
first delivery of the over.
it's a learning curve for Tubiso Ndlela. But just to be out there at the age of 19, bowling in a competition like this is wonderful.
Shot.
That is a good shot, and that is 4. That's a quality stroke from Niemand, who looks like a quality cricketer. That is the end of the over. And now, of course, the 7th ball of the over. How many times do you see it go for 4? 71 for 2 off 10. I think actually that's 75 for 2 off 10.
And the danger here, Andy, that run rate has now moved up to over 7s, which is more than they require to chase down the score of the ACDC Express Tuskers.
We've got another bowling change.
Bowling change, and it's Gilson.
So Sean Whitehead off after bowling 2 overs of his slow left arm. And now Sean Gilson.
In all that drama, Andy, and we were only joking about the MTN 40s. Budaza picked up something and he finds himself off the field. In fact, he's been replaced by the sub Dylan Finn.
So my notes say leg breaks from Sean Gilson. Let's have a look.
That was an offie. Maybe he's got the leg as well.
Yeah.
But that looked like an offie from here.
It did, you're right. The important thing for his captain is it was a dot ball, whatever it was.
Well, Peter, our
definitely bowling off.
producer from Pitch Vision, said he only bowled office in the previous match as well. And I saw that as well on one of the information websites that they've got him as a leg spinner. They probably need to correct
Maybe
that.
he's got a doosra.
Maybe he does. So this is the important time now where the Tuskers have to control this rate again.
Oh, it's missed everything. It's going to go for 4 byes. It could so easily have hit the stumps. Keeper will be a bit desolate that he missed that.
Andy, am I also right in saying this is the biggest partnership of the match so far? Wicket fell at 37 for 2.
So it's 39, yes.
39.
Yeah, you are correct.
Valuable runs for the Iinyathi team.
And as you mentioned earlier, Devan, the longer you bat, the easier it gets. And that's something that the Tuskers never really found out in their innings. Gilson, the man bowling now, top scored with 35. And if he'd stayed and gone on, I'm sure it would have made a big difference to their final total. A little bit too short with his offies in this over.
Andy, and that's really something, you know, anybody would say and a coach would coach that the longer you bat, the easier it becomes. But particularly here at the Oval, it really is a case where you don't find the middle of your bat as you walk in, but the longer you bat, you really start to find that pace and you pick it up and you start to control the innings, and then it becomes about you as a batsman making a mistake rather than the bowler getting you out.
So Gilson, I think it's probably fair to say he got away with that over. It wasn't a great over, to be honest, but no boundaries from it. 79 for 2 from 11. So it's starting to get real now. 54 required off 9.
And they're going to give him Lela another over. Nice to see Erlang backing the youngster, allowing him to get another over in.
So when I was at school, 6 nines were 57. So it must be 6 nines were not 57. 54. That's what I meant. So it's exactly 6 and over required. Now 8 wickets in hand. If you don't win from here, there'll be some serious chat.
Yes. Peter.
So Niemand on strike, facing Ndlela, and a little bit unnecessary.
I don't know why. What's your son? I heard earlier when you. That's what I said, Peter. Sorry, Wayne. Wayne, do you
Marco
know?
Murray actually
Would you be
taking
able
the
to say
time to
what the
come
Tuskers
down
had
and
after 12
have a chat to his captain, perhaps making the point that it's a runner ball. You don't need to play a ramp shot that could get you out.
Well, he's enjoying himself now. You know, he's done the hard work, Andy, and he wants to show some flair to the people that pitched up.
Chanti Rapalana doing the needful at cover point.
The Tuskers with work to do, as Wayne pointed out from pitch vision. 64 for 4 after 11 overs. The Cape Iinyathi 11 way ahead at this point in time.
Yeah, 15 runs and 2 wickets ahead. In the air! Oh! Great effort. Let me say straight away, that was not a walk in the park. He did brilliantly to time his jump and got one hand there. He knew he wouldn't be able to take it in 2. And on another day, it might have stuck. That's Michael Erlank. He knows how important it was, head in hands.
How amazing is the athleticism of the skipper. So close. A great effort. He stopped 3 runs.
That's quite right. And actually, Ndlela's made a good comeback here after taking a little bit of tap in his first over and getting a wicket off a no ball, which allowed the free hit. He's actually settled into quite a nice rhythm here, and you can see a little bit of pressure on the shoulders of the Iinyathi captain, which shouldn't be there. You've always got more time than you think. It's a runner ball. But that is 4. That is a beautiful stroke. Crashed it away into the roller. And it's that kind of shot that makes me say, why would you want to play a ramp?
No idea.
Play proper cricket.
He's a sweeper though. I mean, he did show earlier his sweeps against the spinner. It's in his arsenal. And the chaps do train it quite hard in the indoor. But I think finding himself right at the bottom of the log after the first round of games in the T20 knockout, I think the W is more important than the bragging rights.
Should be 1, and it is.
Still a decent over, Andy. 6 off the over.
6 off the over, yeah, well done. Well done. And that included a boundary hit. So 85 for 2 from 12.
Quiet murmur around the stadium at the moment. The home crowd, not a lot to celebrate at this stage. Wickets desperately needed for the Tuskers team.
I'm very confused, you know. I'm looking at the scoreboard, which says 85 for 2
Oh, thank you.
after 12 overs, and the scoreboard is saying that the run rate is 7. Well, it's not. It's 6. Ah, that's the current run rate.
He bowled him! He bowled him! You can't keep this man out of a cricket game. Sean Gilson. If I was the new coach, Quinton, friend of the Dolphins, I would think twice about why I released him from my setup. Although there's lots of players there down at the Dolphins. What a delivery by Sean Gilson, Michael House ex-boy.
85 for 3 at the start of the 13th.
And so needed that wicket, and a big wicket indeed.
Murray gone for 17.
Just before he had the opportunity to really release. Marco is finding his way back in the hut.
New batsman coming to the crease now is Christopher Gleaves. And he's a 24-year-old, went to Graham College and currently captains the Medibas.
All right. Did they play a replay? What a delivery. And that went miles. Imagine Gleaves gets his first ball like that. Well, he's going to be on a hat-trick. Well, Sean Gilson.
That would bring the Tuskers back into the contest.
Yeah, and they desperately need it.
They've got to get Niemand out now.
They're about 15 runs behind. Start of the 12th over, they only had 70.
Oh, it's too short. It's an easy way to get off the mark.
Well, he searched for it. He searched for it, Andy.
So in addition to being a good left-hand bat and off-spin stroke leg spin bowler, I believe he's a single figures golfer.
Oh, wow.
Represented Michael House as a golfer.
He's got long levers. I can see him hitting it off the tee quite a distance. All of a sudden there's a bit of chatter in the field as well, as always.
But he's looked the part, hasn't he?
He does.
He's come on and he's grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck.
Well, that's what impressed me about this Tuskers and the Cape Iinyathi team. A lot of athletes on the field. We saw Michael Erlang almost holding out on an unbelievable catch. And earlier as well, diving on the sweeper boundary in the first innings. It was a great effort. If memory recalls, it was Christopher Gleaves attempting an awesome diving catch.
Oh, full toss, and that's gone. That's gone out of the ground.
6.
So the wicket at the start of the over is forgotten now at 93 for 3. 40 to win.
I think the Tuskers only got to 93 in the 17th over.
Oh, leading edge.
Better delivery.
So end of the over, 13 gone, 93 for 3. Means that they need 40 off the last 7. So they've just got it under 6 and over requirement now. And looks like we've got a change of bowling at the far end.
Sean Whitehead back into the attack.
Having bowled 2 overs up front, has changed ends. He's coming in from the Hewlett's end now, and he'll be bowling to Jason Niemand, who's been very impressive, and he's within a couple of the highest score of the match at 33 not out.
Interesting that Carl Nipper hasn't bowled any of his left armers in this innings so far. Top fielding. That's the standard, and that's a substitute. Finn was an excellent dive, and not even a 1.
That's what you want from your sub. Must feel like 2 players. You do get the feeling that if they could nip out Niemand, they're still in this, the Tuskers.
Yeah, 1 wicket away. I always say add 2 wickets to the score. And what will the situation be like then? What a start to this over, Andy.
Yeah, Niemand is obviously feeling the pressure. And I don't know why. He's batted beautifully, captained the side well in the field, and he's got the game to an area where his team should canter home. But pressure is a funny thing. You know, I did the All African Snooker Championships recently. 2 Egyptian men in the final, and the younger of the 2 had 3 or 4 chances to win the trophy. And at the moment that he knew he had a chance to win, he fell to pieces.
Sure.
You could actually see the blood drain from his face, and he looked physically sick. That's what pressure can do to people. Oh my word! He tried to hit that one into the road. Missed. Got away with it.
What a great over by Sean Whitehead. Only 2 from the first 4 deliveries. Ball number 5 and 6 still to come. Very important to close off this over well. And he sees Niemand coming down, and another dot ball. Actually, in fact, that was the last ball of the over, and a good over by Sean Whitehead.
2 off the over, I think.
Yes.
That's remarkable to bowl the 14th over the innings for just 2. Nico Finsale did something similar in the Tuskers innings.
Yes.
And 95 for 3. Now the rate has just climbed fractionally. 38 required off the last 6, so it's just popped over 6 and over.
And it is Carl Nipper into the attack
At
now.
last, right. Now the question is,
He has been in this scenario many times.
he won't be able to bowl 4 overs. Is he going to bowl all 3 from this doozy end?
Well, don't write off the idea, Andy. I think it's definitely an option on this wicket. It's not the type of wicket where you need to bring back seamers. It's not easy, particularly if they take a few wickets and there's a new batsman in.
That's a good shot. Very well fielded. Now he needs to get the throw in quickly. He's done so.
Oh!
He's home, but it was close.
Gives his partner that big thumbs up, but I think it was a bit closer than we've got it, mate.
Yeah. It was Chris Gleaves going to the danger end, and a really good throw came in from the boundary.
36 needed of 34 balls now, Andy. Getting slightly darker as well.
Oh, him! That is a horrible shot. The batsman stands there and can't believe what he's done. Chris Gleaves, he could have been run out off the previous ball, but there's no doubt about that. Kyle Nipper has nipped him out and hit the top of leg. Well, Nips will be feeling a bit better after he got out first ball himself.
Most definitely. And he just changes his pace slightly. Bowls it a little bit slower. It just shows his experience. Carl Nipper.
Well, perhaps a chance to just go through the scorecard. Nathan Rue was bowled Badaza 11, 20 for 1 in the 4th. Jerome Bossa bowled Badaza for 20 off 20 balls, 37 for 2 in the 6th. And then Marco Murray bowled by Gilson for 17, 85 for 3 in the 13th. And now Chris Gleaves bowled by Kyle Nipper for 10, 97 for 4 in the 15th. Game on. Now it's the wicketkeeper batsman Malika who's come to the crease for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. ACDC Malika is 27 years old, went to Lindani High School. Oh, beats the outside edge. Game on. Would he dare put a slip in? I don't think so. What I don't like is there's a free run on the onside. Right there. Never like giving a new batsman one off the mark, no matter who he is. But nonetheless, only 2 runs off the over and a wicket.
Last ball to come. Oh, how they will enjoy the prize wicket of the skipper here, Jason Niemann. It's really batted well, but as you said, Andy, and he works it beautifully down to middle for 1. For no apparent reason, at least to us sitting up here, the batsmen looked like they added this pressure on themselves a few overs ago, cruising along nicely at 7.2s and over, and now they find themselves in a bit of a spot of a bother.
So with 5 overs left at 99 for 4, the question is, what do the batting side do? Do they just go, 1 big over wins it, let's have a crack? Or do they say, run a ball wins it, let's play sensibly? I know what my money's on.
and being a traditionalist, Andy, I know you probably favour batting the whole 5 overs out, and that's most definitely the right call. I think if they chased 40 plus, maybe you must target an over, but there's so much time left in the game. Transfer the pressure back to the bowlers and bat. Turn over the scoreboard. At some stage, one of the bowlers, it's inevitable, will make a mistake and will give you that boundary. And as a batting team, the Cape Iinyathis will get over the line. Will that happen in front of us today? Well, only time will tell. Sean Whitehead bowling his last over now. He has been good as always. There's more than enough spinners for Erlang to pick for the remainder of the 5 overs.
Quicker ball from Whitehead to the new man Malika. Yeah, Erlang of course bowled the first over of the innings himself with his offies. We might see him replace Whitehead. Oh, reverse sweep. They're crying to the umpire. Why is that not LBW?
Now even the announcers commentating. Yeah, at the oval. Looked like it hit him outside the line. Where are we sitting? I think everybody wants to get involved in this game now.
Again, why go for the big shot? There's so much space on the offside. Just push for 1. Man at 45 makes it a dot ball, and the Iinyathi are busy digging a grave for themselves here. They've brought the 100 up in the 15th over. They've got 6 wickets in hand. It's just about a runner ball, and they are finding ways
And
to get in trouble. He's missed the straight one. Oh my word, what is going on here at the Maritzburg Oval? The Iinyathi got themselves into a position where you felt they couldn't lose. Now at 105, 100 for 5, they could.
Whitehead tightening the strangle on the Cape Iinyathi batsman here. A good over from him, followed by an excellent over from Carl Nipper, and Sean Whitehead with his first wicket of this innings. A very important wicket, and it all boils down to how Niemand approaches the remainder of this innings. With 4.1 overs to go, the Tuskers have stepped into the favourites position. What a game of ebbs and flows, and actually you sit here and I've been there, Andy, but it just looks not as it should. Iinyathi should have potentially have finished this game in the next over or two, but they've feel like they've just put themselves in a horrible situation.
So Whitehead has got 2 balls left to bowl. New man at the crease.
Jade de Klerk.
And this is Jade de Klerk, who bowled very well earlier today. Oh! What an over from Whitehead. 2 overs in a row of left arm spin have almost turned this game on its head. A game that the Tuskers couldn't win. They now have a chance. 100 for 5 from 16, 33 required off the last 4.
That's a beauty of home ground advantage, because on paper the 130 odd runs that they scored should never win a T20 game in a professional outfit where there hasn't been a rainstorm or something that affected the conditions. And here they are, absolutely finding themselves back in the game. And an interesting decision by Captain Erlang. He brings back Abrams. He takes off Nipper after a very successful over.
Wow.
How's that, Andy?
Wow.
Oh, sorry. We didn't see that coming.
That is a big surprise.
I would never have done that myself. I'm not the captain.
So Abrams is the man who's been asked to bowl the 17th over. He comes back on cold after Carl Nipper bowled 1 over and picked up a crucial wicket. Maybe Nipper's going to come back at Whitehead's end.
Potentially, yes, with Whitehead being done. An interesting fact the statistician from Pitch Vision has put through, and is every wicket in this innings has been bowled.
Oh, yes. Yeah, just looking at my notes now, yeah. There's less scribble than normal on my notes, because it's all quick. Bold, bold, bold. Here comes Abrams.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bold, but he works at 2. Mid-wicket.
2 for 2.
On the cards. Nipper. That's not Nipper, that's Shackleton, I think. And they make 2 easily, and that's probably going to be the remainder of this innings, running hard. If only they could start running at the start of the innings again, the 1 or 2 runs that they missed would have changed the game.
Well, Niemand now has 38. That's the highest score of the match. They'll push for 2 again, but there's not 2 there.
Top fielding by Shackleton.
But this does talk to what we've been speaking about. Take pace off the ball rather than give them pace to work with.
And that's been the formula, Andy. That's been the success of today for the bowling unit. When last did we see 2 good shots, albeit these being 2 defensive shots off the middle of the bat? And now we've got a seamer back, and Erlang, he's got himself to bowl. He's got Gilson that can bowl. He's got Nipper that can bowl. More than enough spin options, but Abrams, a specialist in T20 cricket. Back on the attack.
1 more, so that's 4 off the first 3 balls of the over.
I guess it's not the end of the world stuff. Only 4 runs of 3 balls.
It's been a while since we had a boundary. I've got a feeling the last boundary was a 6 rather than a 4.
Of Marco. Marie. Yeah, on the bank.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, that's well bowled. That's well bowled. Well disguised bouncer.
And it's very naughty in this light, but I guess with a white ball, the umpires are not too concerned about the visual impact of the clouds.
If this was a 4-day game, would they bring them off?
I think so.
It's quite gloomy.
I think so at some stage, depending who complains the most.
That's well bowled. Just the single. Abrams saw the batsman coming, followed him.
Good work by Tando Zuma. Backing up as the throw hit the foothole and it just rolled.
This is character building stuff for the fielding side here. They've fought their way back into this contest so that it is a contest rather than a very one-sided lope to victory for the Iinyathi. Can they close it out? Oh, looking for the Yorker. That's very well bowled. And the new man can't pierce the field. Nipper hangs onto the ball. Looks like he's going to replace Whitehead at the Hewlett's end. We've got 3 overs remaining. 105 for 5. They need 28 off 3. So suddenly it's gone from 6s to almost 12s.
And the Tuskers are really showing why they are serious contenders for this T20 Knockout Cup. They've been playing good cricket in the second innings, and how massive is their arsenal. They've got swing bowling up front in Budaza, Abrams, a specialist in T20 cricket, 3 quality spin bowlers, one of them who has taken 10 wickets in an innings before, albeit a different format. It still counts, you still have that experience. And the experience of Carl Nipper, unbelievable. And their fielding has been unbelievable. I mean, yesterday's was a drop catch, but I'd rather see that effort from Mike Erlach as a guy who stopped 3 runs instead of a drop catch. It was an unbelievable effort.
So 36-year-old Kyle Nipper comes back into the attack across the road from where he learnt his cricket at Maritzburg College. That'll be a single into the onside. They might push for 2. Niemann says no. And they wouldn't have crossed. And now the new man. Can they find a way to crowd him just a little bit?
It's amazing Carl finds himself here. Not so long ago, him and the rest of the staff at Maritzburg College hosted the 64th Michaelmas Week. Stacey Emerson, the organizer, they did a fantastic job. And yeah, he finds himself playing professional cricket.
Yeah.
Carl Nipper, 2 runs of his first 2 balls.
Yep, he missed the first game for the Tuskers because of Michaelmas Week. And then he said, no, well, somebody asked me if I'd play, so I thought I'd say yes. And here he is. So 3 singles off the first 3 balls. The Tuskers won't mind that because it's a lot more than that now that the Iinyathi need. They need boundaries. Can they find their way to perhaps clear the ropes or pierce the gap? Fine leg is up in the circle. There's a lot of real estate behind him. That's beautifully bowled. 3 runs off 4 balls. The Iinyathi are really battling here. For the first time in the match, what's happened over the last 3 overs is extraordinary. That's a good shot. Is it going to be enough to pierce the 2 men on the boundary? It is. That's the boundary they were desperately looking for. And it's the first one for a long, long time. Well played, Jade de Klerk. Last ball of the over. Can Nipper get out of it with minimal fuss? Oh, it's come off the back of the bat. They've gone to the wrong end. The striker didn't know where the ball had gone. It's actually a leg by, and so they got 8 off the over, which is not a disaster, but it means they need 20 off 24. The last 2.
Is it not? Is it 20? Yeah,
113 for 5, 20 to win, so it's 10 and over.
Well, they need a big over.
Well, you've been there. The important thing at a penultimate over is you want to break the back of it. You don't want to leave it to the last over.
Yeah, and you just have to play quality cricket shots. This is a big over. I mean, Andy, 6-2 is 12 runs. I think quality cricket is the winner here. Good placements, and then as that pressure transfers to the bowler, there will be a release ball. And being the in man, Niemand on 42 at the moment, the highest score in this match will put it away.
Well, Abrams is still in the attack. You mentioned earlier that he's a bit of a specialist. He's been signed by the Tuskers this year to do exactly this kind of job. Can he step up to the mark now? 20 to win, 12 balls remaining for the Iinyathi, 5 wickets in hand. Niemand is at the non-striker's end. De Klerk. Beautifully, but oh, he's come a long way down. He's gone. He's gone. Run out. 6 down.
What an innings by the captain, Niemand. He played so well and he got himself out.
No, he's here. Non-striker. De Klerk's gone.
De Klerk is gone. Niemand is still here. My apologies. Desperately trying to get himself off strike. To get the captain, in fact, on strike. And Abrams showing that experience that you asked for, Andy. An excellent Yorker. And he followed through. Calm and composed. He picked the ball up and he knocked the bails off.
And 2 balls in a row where de Klerk had almost swung himself off his feet, didn't know where the ball had gone. The first time he got away with it, when the ball went down to short third man and the throw came into the keeper. Next ball, first ball of the next over that he faced, doesn't know where it's gone, runs himself out. Chad Clarkson is the new man. What a game we have here at the Maritzburg Oval.
The Tuskers, if they win this game, move up into first position with that healthy netto rate that's currently at 3.6. They'll overtake the Easterns.
Ho, 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 ho. So 2 dot balls from Abrams to start the over.
And you can't leave balls at this stage, Andy. I know it's a bouncer, but you have to rise on top of it. And even if it hits your gloves, you have to get the captain on strike. He's had a good game with the ball, and he's looking the part definitely with the bat. He cannot shoulder arms the ball to the wicketkeeper.
That's another dot ball. If he did, he's still out, I think. They're asking the umpire. The umpire says no, he made it. Wow.
All out action, yeah.
So the shy from Abrams missed. The shy from the keeper did not miss. But the batsman had just got home. Chad Clarkson looks pleadingly at his captain, who is marooned at the non-striker's end. 9 balls remaining. They still need 19.
It was close, Andy.
He's missed another one. It's 4 dot balls.
Well, he's showing his experience. He's showing his expertise. Specialist T20 bowler, Abrams. And he's closing off this game.
There's a great atmosphere in the ground. The locals who've turned up to support the Tuskers today have had their money's worth.
Most definitely.
What a game
was
of
free
cricket.
entry, so they had their money. But I guess the petrol cost a bit of money. But no, it's been a great game, Andy. Michael Erlang, he can pick any bowler to close off this game, to be honest.
That's a good shot. That might be 4. He's got it through. There's a big, big chase around the boundary. It's gone for 4.
Well, Finn couldn't chase it down from long on. He ran all the way.
Looking for the Yorker. It turned out to be a full toss. Clarkson got it away. It's 118 for 6. 15 needed, 7 balls remaining. Can he get out of the over without conceding a boundary now?
Well done to Claessens. After 3 dot balls, timed a beautiful straight drive, of almost a Yorker length, slightly over pitched. But imagine he gets an outside edge for 4 now. Then there's a chance for the Cape Iinyathis, who was the captain on strike.
Abrams, last ball of the 19th over.
Oh!
Bowled him!
Another one bowled.
What an over that is from Ziad Abrams. He conceded a boundary, but he's picked up a wicket and he's given the Tuskers the chance to dream. The last over, they need to keep it to 14 or less.
Well, I was in doubt, I can admit it. The change of Abrams when Kyle Nipper has bowled beautifully, but he came up from the other end. But regardless, Abrams with an excellent penultimate over. Well done to the specialist, and you can see why the My Cape Town SA T20 team have signed him, and he's played there before. He's got something about him, and he's proven it here today at his new home grounds here in Pietermaritzburg.
So a new batsman has come to the crease. And that is the bowler, Apiwe Unyanda. He'll be at the non-striker's end. And Jason Niemand, who has batted beautifully in this game for 42 not out, suddenly he has got to find a way to win this game for his side. That's a great shot. It should only be worth 1. They're coming back for 2, and they have made it for 2.
A great diving effort, and there's really been a showcase element today. Has been the fielding, Andy. A top effort in the deep. Niemand on 44. I hope he makes his 50.
That's another one that they'll look for 2. It's not
He's
there.
coming to the
He's
danger.
going. He's gone. He's
Out.
out. Run out. The Tuskers are exultant. Niemand knew he had to keep the strike, and now he lies disconsolate next to his shattered stumps. The second run out of the innings, and the Iinyathi have imploded in spectacular fashion. 124-7 becomes 120 for 8.
And what a great throw from Shackleton. Little bit to the right of Zuma. He had work to do, and Thando Zuma gathers it, cool, calm and collective, and the former SA under-19 batsman wicket-keeper takes the bails off. I mean, they got to a 93 in 13 overs, where, wasn't it that the Tuskers only got there in 17 overs?
Yeah.
And they've, I'm sorry to say it, but from here, the Cape Iinyathi team have bottled this match. They were the favourites for 80% of this match, and the ACDC Express Tuskers, the home team, are producing the goods here in the end.
I must just check the maths. Yes, they've given it. Of course, he was run out going for the second, so it's 121 for 8. It could be crucial. New man comes in.
Fun sale.
And this is Nicol van Zyl. He can hold a bat. Kyle Nipper, 36-year-old Kyle Nipper. Can he win it for the Tuskers here? 11 to tie, 12 to win, 4 balls remaining, 2 wickets in hand. Oh, big shout for LBW. I think there was some bat on it. We'll wait and see what the umpire says. Yeah, the umpire stands his ground. It's runs.
Yeah, difficult to say from when we are at, but I think if a ball bounces over the keeper, it must have hit something. that's come down with force. I don't think it just hit the pad. It definitely hit that at a stage.
Now Iinyathi to face his first ball, the 20-year-old. And he's got hold of it. 2 men out there, 1 bounce. A single is all they will get.
And that's
There's
the game.
Party atmosphere around the oval now. 2 balls remaining, 123 for 8. It's just a couple of overs ago that we were saying, well, it's a runner ball, you don't need to panic.
Less than a runner ball at a stage, Andy.
That's 1 more, and Kyle Nipper has done it with 1 ball remaining. Unless he oversteps or does something ridiculous, the Tuskers have won a game that they were probably losing for 37 of the 40 overs.
And he gets
And he's
a wicket.
bowled him! Kyle Nipper has done it! And the Tuskers have won. 124 for 9 is the final score for the Iinyathi. What a spectacular collapse that was. At one stage they were 97 for 3 in the 15th over, coasting to victory, and they have lost now 6 wickets in the space of 31 runs.
It's unbelievable scenes, and the ACDC Express Tuskers move up to the first position on the log now in the CSA T20 knockout, and unfortunately for a very talented Cape Iinyathi team, they remain right at the bottom of the log. So impressed with the captaincy today, Andy, of Michael Erlang. He's made good calls. I mean, he started the innings by bowling himself, and that was the only over he bowled.
Yeah.
And then from there, the seamers came out. Budaza, apologies, he's 4 overs, 2 for 18. It was excellent and well supported by Abrams, who eventually bowled 2 and then 2 here in the end, who bowled 1 for 26 in his 4. And how was those spinners, Andy? Sean Whitehead.
What was Kyle Nipper's final? Kyle Nipper, 3 overs, 2 for 17 for the old man. Well done.
How was
But
that?
I would say of all those bowlers, Mbulelo Budaza to me was the man who set the standard at the top of the innings. Bowled 4 overs off the reel, swung the new ball, picked up a couple of wickets to give his team hope. But you come back to, this is a game that the Iinyathi should never have lost. They fought themselves into a position where it was less than a runner ball. They had 7 wickets in hand and they froze in the headlights. So sorry for them. Wonderful news for the Tuskers, who've now won both of their opening games. They are trying to get back into Division 1 after being relegated, and they will have another game here next Saturday, which we thoroughly look forward to. So hope you've enjoyed it wherever you are. Let me remind you that the Tuskers won the toss. They chose to bat. They finished on 132 for 6, with the best of the batting coming from Gilson, who scored an excellent 35 off 31 balls. There was a good 19 from Rapalana, and then right at the end, Sean Whitehead, 22 not out off 16 balls, alongside Tando Zuma, who scored a good 15 off 11 balls. Some good bowling. Nico van Sale with the new ball and coming back at the end of the innings, picked up 2 for 22. 2 for 21 for Jason Niemand, who's the man whose wicket falling at the end of the innings really set the seal on things. And Jade de Klerk, 1 for 17. They bowled well. And an extraordinary innings where there wasn't a single catch taken in the reply by the Iinyathi, with 7 men being out, clean bowled, 2 run-outs. The key run-out was that of Niemand for 48. That was 121 for 8, and there was nothing that the Iinyathi could do from there. So disappointment for them, but absolute delight for the Tuskers. Lovely atmosphere in the ground today, Devan, and let's hope that news will get out on the Bush Telegraph and we get an even bigger crowd next week.
Thank you very much, Andy, and thank you to the Pitch Vision team here in Pietermaritzburg for producing an excellent game. Man, I'm impressed, and Andy, I'm mostly impressed with the captain of the Tuskers. Considering the decisions that he made, a big reason why this Tuskers team got over the line. Bowling Budaza 4 overs on the trot. That doesn't happen in T20 cricket, really. A captain would normally think, no, but I need to save my best bowler for the end, and obviously he saw what was happening, we saw it as well. He's unplayable, and that's potentially where the Cape Iinyathi team lost the game, because they couldn't get him off the square.
And the other thing to mention is we couldn't understand why Ziad Abrams was brought back into the attack, because Carl Nipper had just bowled an over where he'd picked up a wicket, looked very difficult to get away, but the captain said no, his job is to finish the innings, he's very good at it, here's the ball, go and do your thing. And my word, he did his thing. Ziad Abrams' penultimate over was a wonderful over. There were 4 dot balls and a wicket with a clean bowled. So well done to everybody today, really. The Tuskers will see that there's a lot of room for improvement for them. On the batting side, we felt they fell 20 to 30 runs short. As it turned out, it was more than enough. So thank you very much to Divan from Vake. Thank you to everybody from Pitch Vision. Hope wherever you're streaming us that you're going to have a good evening, and go Boca. They kick off in about 40 minutes from now. It's goodbye from the Maritzburg Oval.
Thank you, sir. That was like
Pleasure playing with you.
Thank you.
Daniel!
And I'm so glad it was an entertaining game.
Yeah.
That's an excellent delivery by.
Yeah, bowls to Vandia. Goes on the shorter side. Vandia tries to lift that. And John takes it beautifully at that far leg.
There you go.
Oh, Aldred rocking. Oh, and what a...
Oi!
And this time, he's taken.
Oh, and this time he...
And Kim runs down.
And Masono
Falls that.
No!